like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Laid on the carpet, eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're going golden. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the so I could show you. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport, here for your weekly dose of GT4 action. I am your host, Mathew Duffin, and joining me tonight is, it's a sad day if you're a KTM fan, because it's been retired, it's been stored in the museum at Silverstone alongside a fantastic looking Acura from Project Cars 2 and a beautiful Mercedes-Benz AMG from Project Cars 2. It is PNMotorsport. PN, it's great to have you in the box, but it's a shame to not see you on the track, as you was doing well in the championship.
Yeah, it's a shame, but the show must go on. The show comes first. The KTM got eaten, actually, by my Bentley.
Oh, there we go then.
It did. It went to fund the Bentley for carry on in Am.
Well, there we go then. It's gone to fund the Bentley. He's scrapped it for spares and repairs, and he's funding the Bentley for the rest of the season. So a big charge in the Amateur League now for you this year.
Hopefully, yes, as long as real life don't rear its head,
yeah,
like it has a habit of.
Well, hopefully for PM Motorsport it will be a good night. We do also have Peaceful Explosion in the commentary box. He's out there on track for race 1, and to be here, we'll possibly speak to him during qualifying or something throughout the evening to see how he goes. He's back in his Mercedes-Benz. We do, though, have 2 brand new drivers on the track, and we've got Der Hoffner. I hope I've pronounced that right. That's what I'm going with. He's in the Ginetta. It's 2 more Ginettas on the grid. It is fantastic to see this little car out there. It's so nice to see it out there. And K1N4, we're just going to call him Doctor Who, is out there as well in his Ginetta, so it's great to see 2 drivers out there. We also have 1 driver on his 200th appearance. It is Dean Wysoki's 200th race tonight. He was going to do it tomorrow, but it is his wife's birthday, so doesn't think he's going to be able to race. So he's decided to do the GT4 tonight to get his 200th race in. We've also got to say welcome back John Andrews. It is always nice to see John Andrews back. We know that John Andrews in the real world suffers with ill health at times, so it's great to see John Andrews well and back out on the grid. But what a show we're in for tonight, PN. We've got our championship leader, Fiori, in a BMW that... Is that going to be as suited as the Camaro in the race around here?
Well, I was put 5/10 of a second faster at the moment in practice, but I've got to add, my number is racing, because Mike's in Peaceful Explosions in the Team Parker race and Merc, which ran 66.
And you're the Team Parker racing Bentley, I do believe, on a Tuesday night.
I'm in the Team Parker racing Bentley, yeah.
There you go. Well, it could be like the new season in the new year, that plans are in talks to maybe run a driver swap series on a Thursday night where a pro driver will be teamed with an AM driver. I reckon Mike ought to team with DJ Phil. I reckon that's a good team, that.
He may come off and mute in a minute.
I'm waiting for a reaction, but I didn't get one. Yeah, I think Mike could do well with DJ Phil. I think he could share his setups and run the same car and nothing. No, fully focused on the job he's doing at hand at the moment. He's got 60 minutes left to practice before no qualifying in the reverse grid race, in which then the reverse grid will look a little like this. But before we get into it, let's give you the championship run through. Fiori leads the way. His lead got cut though, 28 points to an Orthodox, who is second in the championship. Third place is Dennis Newman. What can he do in the championship? Took his first 2 wins last week this season. He took his first win in the GT4s, in which PN was a pretty good race win for Dennis Newman in race 2.
Yeah, but that Audi, well, that Audi's a bit of a diva. When I tested it, it doesn't stop. What I've noticed.
So really, for Dennis to get the win, even better.
Yeah, even better for the Audi. And then he went on and win race 2 in Pro-Am.
In Pro-Am, and bearing in mind, them 2 races as well are the races where you have to qualify.
Yeah.
So qualified up there with Joe, qualified up there with Dan Kishanyika, and won the race. Next on the grid, it is Smokey Devil. He is currently running P4 in his BMW. Then it is Kishanyika running in P5 in his little Ginetta. Then sadly, it's the KTM of PNMotorsport running in 6th place before DJ Phil Green, who is not yet in that list. He's not yet here. He's probably walking the dog. He's P7 at the moment. Tibbs is P8. He's not here tonight. Louis Allen is P9. He is currently 9th in the championship, 114 points off the back. Gary 131 won at Kyle Army. He's P10. Bryn PS5 problems for Brim, preventing him from racing at the moment. He's P11 in the championship. Future Revenge, back for some more GT4 action. He's P12. John Andrews, like we said, great to see him back out there. He is P13. Peaceful Explosion, only done 2 races last week. He's P14 in the championship and has a chance to improve tonight. Monkey Boy is P15, not here tonight. Sooty Apex, P16. Just going to show how good Mike's Mercedes is over Sooty's, as Mike has jumped ahead of him by some 11 points already. But Sooty's... in fact, Sooty's actually 2 steps slower than Mike at the moment. Dean Wasocki is then in P17 with Overtaker P18. Shane in 19th, and then De Hoffner, Dit Andy, Max Mulder, and Doctor Who all yet to score. Dit Andy and Max Mulder yet to even make an event as well. I think Dit Andy is basically gone tonight if he doesn't respond. He didn't respond, so he's probably gone. And Max Mulder's in Spain this week.
I'd rather not be in Spain.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've got some drivers on the grid, PN. That's it's going to be interesting to see what they can do, especially the 2 new boys who are within a second of Fury's lap time.
They are, and, well, there's 3 out of the 5 Genettas are up there as well. So it's proving quite a handy little car around here. It'd been a shame that the KTM can't race here because it might have favoured the KTM.
And you have to say that this is really a track that the Ginetta might go well at. It's a shame Gary's not racing because you feel that Gary could have gone well around here.
Yeah, Gary might have done really well here, but he's playing this strange thing called darts.
Throwing sticks at a wall, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no commitment.
No commitment whatsoever. We're currently watching Dean Wasocki, who will tonight make his 200th appearance, and he's running the special number 200 on his car today to signal that moment for him. Race 1 will be his 200th appearance. In terms of other noticeable events this week, in fact, actually, tonight as well, I don't think it's a milestone, is it? It is a milestone. It is actually already Smokey Devil in race 2. It will be his 250th race appearance. So great to see Smokey Devil out there. Plava, if you're watching, you're a busy boy this week. Got some graphics to make.
He has. Is he watching? That is the question.
Well, yeah, busy doing his Russian duties. Speaking of Plava, he's down on 138 appearances. I'm not seeing anybody else. Daz Automatic will make his 50th race in the GT3s on Wednesday night in race 2. 50th race. God, it seems like a long time ago since we had somebody on their 50th race.
Cool.
And in terms of the car statistics, just looking at these as well now, don't think there's any noticeable ones. Ferrari need 3 podiums, but you ain't going to get any of them podiums tonight. Bentley need 8 podiums. That's more than doable because there's a couple of Bentleys now added to the grid. So that is going to be more than doable. Don't think there's any more noticeable things out there. So yeah, just couple of events. Fury needs 4 wins for his 50th. Can he take 2 more race wins tonight? That's the other one to notice as well in terms of pole positions. Nobody's close. Podiums. Gary's the next closest, or Sooty Apex can try and get close to 50, but they're not going to do it this week, so not really worth noticing. Out front, though, Dan has got the gap down to 2.7 tenths of a second.
Yeah, as Dan probably now settling in, and now his stream's now in a lovely 1080p, by the way.
Yeah, nice PS5.
Oh, Kashanika's just gone fastest.
Oh, so Kishanika come to play.
As Benedict Varga said, don't you dare insult darts. I won a local championship thingy in my school. Yes, but sim racing.
Yeah, but it's darts. Would you rather be playing darts, Ben, or racing at the Hungaroring? I think I know what your answer's going to be. Good evening in the chat to Benedict Varga, to Simon Blair, who's saying, do you have a PS5 league? Very soon, join the Discord. Ripper, good evening to you. Micro J's, very good evening. That's another driver that will be in the PS5 league. Ema Kizzle, she says hi. She's calling this the Hunger Games ring, is what she's calling it off of it. And I know that Ema Kizzle will be interested to know that there's plenty of swoopy corners, as she likes to call them, around here. Good evening to Daz Automatic and Fury's granddad as well. So Kishanika goes quickest at the moment from Fury. With 10 minutes left to practice, Fury is coming to the line. He's got car 12 of Such Apex just ahead. Mike only a couple of hundredths off the back of Doctor Who and Smoky Devil. So, you know, Mike's jumped in this GT4 10 minutes before last Monday's race. He's jumped in it for 20 minutes in free practice now. You have to say Mike has really sort of gelled with this GT4 car.
Yeah, has, hasn't he? Well, it's a bit different than his Honda he drives.
Yeah.
As the Ripper says, we need a SimPlay darts tournament.
I'd be well game for that. I'd be game for that.
There used to be an online darts game on PS3.
Somebody whose name I'm not going to mention, what used to want a charity SimPlay boxing event where a driver fought a driver and it was all for charity. I was well up for that. I really wanted to fight Dan. Don't know why.
Boxing. Can we allow wrestling instead?
Oh, that's fine. If it was wrestling, I'd still want to fight Dan. Hit him with a chair, that'd be lovely. Love you really, Dan.
Tombstone pile driver.
Yeah. I don't think I'm quite capable to I think I'd be scared of standing on the top turnbuckle to jump off it. Too high for me. I'm scared of heights.
Do a bit of old school off the top turnbuckle. See, I'm an Undertaker.
But yeah, for Mike, he jumped in it. Now, I don't know if Dan and Orthodubs mentioned this Thursday night, PN. You'll be able to tell me. But Mike has a bit of a streak at the moment. It's not a streak he's going to want to like you. He's probably going to kill me in the admin chat afterwards. But he has a habit of having really good races and scoring really good podiums when I'm in Switzerland for work. Now, this form continued Thursday night with 2 podiums. One, because he spanned when I came in the chat and Gary got 3rd place. But a 3rd and a 4th for Mike, which is 2 really good results for Mike on Thursday. But PN, he has this habit of being in really good form when I'm not around.
You could say that. It's the curse of the Duffin.
Yeah. And this is a real curse, we reckon, because, we'll find out Thursday. I'm back. So we'll see how well Mike does tonight because I'm commentating, and we'll see how well Mike does on Thursday when I'm racing. He's currently 8th fastest at the moment, but again, a couple of hundredths off, and he's already up into the P6. Kishenik is still the quickest man. Everybody's got a lap time. Still no DJ Phil, so that'll pump a few drivers up on the reverse grid in the race.
Nightmare, though, when people don't decide not to race 10 minutes on the end.
Yeah,
and reverse grid.
It's brilliant as well because what this means is I've set the reverse grid. He said he's racing, and this is why we've got rid of the sensitive thing on Discord now, because we need this reverse grid set right. And you know, it's now means that Kishenik, Smoky Devil, Dennis Newman, Daz, Fury, and Mike will all move up a place. Why? You're asking Mike is starting at the back of the grid because he's high in the championship. Because he's low down in the championship. Is because Mike came in late, had prior things happening beforehand, and came in late to race. So we'll be starting from the back of the field. So 7 minutes left of the session. Who's your money on tonight, PN?
I would like to see Kishenik take a home win.
Yeah. Yes.
I really would like to see that.
Has he had a win this season? Good evening to Mother Davis.
I don't think he has.
Had a win? Let's have a look. He has not. He's not had a pole position. He's got to have had a podium.
I think he's had podiums, hasn't he?
He's had 5 podiums, 3 in the GT4s and 2 in the GT3s. So, yeah. It'd be good to see him get a podium.
It would actually see him get a podium, see him get a win at his home circuit at Hungaroring.
I'll tell you what, it's a shame we haven't got the TV cameras, and again, apologies for the no TV cameras. Our admin team, our admin person, Mike, is tirelessly working on fixing this with G-Portal themselves, or Assetto Corsa themselves, to get the camera angles back to you, because the black, and I'm going to say kind of like a gold decal on the Hofner, and then Doctor Who's car looks quite interesting as well. So it's a shame we don't get the full image.
I think Doctor Who's car is like blue, orange and green.
Yeah.
It's a very almost PNMotorsport livery.
It is like a PNMotorsport livery, that's what I'm thinking. It's great to see these two out there at the minute. New drivers to the league, new drivers for the Ginetta. Ginetta's been a popular car choice in this GT4s. I didn't reckon the Ginetta would be a popular car choice, but it really has been.
It has been a very popular car. Well,
5 out
there
there tonight.
GT3 car.
I mean, is it? Who used to run the Ginetta GT3 back when we did Project Cars 2? Who was that?
Akbar, DJ4.
Akbar, that's the one. Yeah, thank you. Akbar, the man who
originally as well.
The man who ended his SimPlay career on 99 race starts. Oh.
A bit like Jackie Stewart, that is. But Jackie Stewart ended his F1 career for a different reason.
Yeah. Just looking through the list.
Joining.
That'll be DJ Phil. That'll be DJ Phil. So he's in. He's here. Of course he is. Doesn't miss a race. He needs to be here as well, actually, because for DJ Phil, he's getting close to the 300 race milestone. That will be race 1 of next week. DJ Phil will get his 300th race at next week's race 1. And what a track! What a track to get your 300th race. I think everybody can agree that Donington Park is Britain's best circuit.
Yes, actually. I wish the Grand Prix was there. But look what happened to it when they tried to get the Grand Prix.
I don't blame Formula 1 for that, though.
No, that was more over
poor ownership of Donington Park.
Because that was pre-MSV taking over.
It was. That's why MSV took over, because the owner, who actually got, I was reading the other day, that the owner actually got done, was actually taking stuff from the track and selling it, and pocketing the money for himself. He's actually been done for it. No, it's not. You know,
it is in a lot better hands now. With
Donington Park really became such a bad place to watch the racing. Great track, bad place, because the Formula 1 had started to tear the track up with making the new layout, which again wasn't Formula 1's fault, but then it meant that we was getting this horrible, you know, the infield was all dug up and you got put in a small space, and that's what you see on Project Cars 2, the infield all dug up. MSV, you know, they started to get it into a nice place, then MSV bought it, and now it's a beautiful place to go.
All the MSV circuits are really nice, really well looked after, and don't ruin the grass, whatever you do, because you will get a bill.
And if you're at MSV, and it's an MSV circuit next year, you might be able to hear these lush tones over the tannoy commentating to you. Hopefully, touch wood, if all goes to plan.
Well, I get a season pass for Snetterton every year.
Yeah, I'll see you at Snetterton PN, Mike. I'll see you at Alton. I know Mike's always there for the touring. I probably won't get that gig.
It's quite a way. You need to drive first, mate.
Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. Right, 2.5 minutes left of the session. Great to see the McLaren back out there. Mike, in fact, actually, wow, look at the top of the time screens. Look at the top of the time screens. Wow, Dennis Newman. Now, is that a low fuel run?
Must be.
Is that a low fuel run? Right, so PN, let's talk SimPlay. Let's talk the future of SimPlay. Let's talk what potentially could be happening in the future, what potentially is going to happen sooner rather than later due to these camera problems. Us as an admin team, and Mike, who is the one who's sending the emails back and forth, G Portal and ACC, we're not aware if this is an old generation, so Xbox One and PS4 console problem. We're not sure if this is the ACC telling us that they're stopping the broadcast side of their service for it, PS4 and Xbox One. We're not sure if it's a problem on G Portal's end that is stopping this part from working, as Dan just moves himself into P3. So the future of SimPlay is what at the moment, PN? It's potential PS5 League. We'll stop streaming AM will still run, but we stop streaming it. We run a PS5 League on a Sunday evening so that there's a stream with broadcast capabilities.
Yeah.
Then
be shame not to stream the AM races, because some of them, well, last week was a cracker, like Dean sent it.
Dean's moving to turn 1. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But then there's the option of going forward into the new year. And we've got, again, you know, we're going to possibly still look to run the Monday to Thursday with Tuesday and Wednesday in between. Whether it's Ferrari Challenge, Super Trofeo, Porsche Cup, BMW M2s, GT4s again, along with our AM, Pro-Am and Pro divisions. Now, the Pro-Am, AM and Pro divisions could look different. This is something that we're going to be testing in the off-season, something we're going to be looking into in the off-season. the race nights could be one race, but a long race with driver swaps. This is a possibility that we're looking into.
It is, I wouldn't mind it. That'd be great fun to be carried by the pro driver.
Well, it was an idea given to us by an unlikely source, I'm going to say.
Our previous commentator who flung animal
mud and was wrecking warehouses. Bozzy Boy gave us the idea of running the league, but doing... So, like, because we have 60 drivers, or if you have close to 60 drivers, you can run 30 drivers on the PS4, the PS5 version of the game. So, because you can run the 30 drivers, we was thinking, okay, so you take the top 15 of Pro-Am, you make them classed as pro drivers. You take the bottom 15, you class them as AM drivers. Now, the way we'd run it is like British GT in the real world. The bottom 15 drivers, all in the amateur league, as we say good evening to Aidan Bennett, and Peaceful Stepdad in the chat. The bottom 15 drivers in the amateur league would all be on the grid at one time. They'd be teamed with a pro driver. Hence the DJ Phil, Peaceful Explosion, Dean Wasaki, myself, PNMotorsport, Overtaker. Sierra put you with a pad user there, PM. Brilliant thinking from me.
He's the only pad user left in pro.
Exactly. We take an AM driver, put them with a pro driver. What this would mean is the AM would do the first hour, they do the race start, they do an hour's racing. Or 45 minutes, we don't know what they do yet. After that time, they'd then go into the pits, and it is a 30-second pit stop, whether you'll probably change tyres, because tyres can last an hour, refuel the car, and you'd then swap for your pro driver. So, for example, DJ Phil would pit, he'd put Mike Matthews in the car. Mike would then be in the car, ready to drive, to go, do whatever he wants to do. He'd do his final hour. That then part of the race would then be all the pros out on the track. There's your race result. It's one format that at SimPlay we're looking into in the new year, especially if we are having to have a hand forced and go to the PS5 version.
I think that's very likely. Plus with the new slim model PS5 coming out in November, which means the existing model might be reduced heavily to ship it.
I think as well this year we've not got them worries of PS5s are still hard to come by now. We're not at that place anymore. People may get PS5s more often in the year. Do you know what I mean? In terms of in that window of the Christmas period.
Well, probably some more people will get one for Christmas.
Yeah,
as well.
Especially some of our younger drivers like Noser and Shoemaker and people like that.
Indeed, and well, be nice, but there's also the option of PC. If we've got enough people with PC.
That's something we need to look into a little more. It's something I need to look into a little more, because that means my PC needs to be able to run it. Dan thinks that my upgrades are fine to run it. They're fine to race it. My worry would be to broadcast it. So we would need to play around with this and have a look. Right then, we're on the grid.
So who's inside me?
You've got Kashanyika, because you can't even see Kashanyika. Your Bentley's swallowed him up.
The Bentley SimPlay safety car.
And I have got Louis Allen, that you can kind of see bits of BMW, but again, my Bentley has swallowed him up.
Yeah, well, as I said, the Bentley ate my KTM.
So that's kind of the future of SimPlay Motorsport at the minute, isn't it? It looks like PS5 is going to be the option for the new year. Driver swap leagues is a potential, but also the fact that we may stick with the same format we already know.
Maybe have one season with a format we already know, and then merge Pro-Am and Pro together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of see what the numbers are sign-up wise, isn't it, for the championship?
Because if we only get about 5 people in AM, it's not going to be worth really running AM on the PS5.
No. The bonus is you've got them extra driver slots, haven't you? You've got 10 extra drivers, so there may be no AM. You just may promote. When you look at the Pro-Am grid at the minute this year, if we ran the same sort of format as what we do now, you then maybe say, well, Dan, Daz, Kashanyika, Dennis, Sutty, Sekulovic, maybe go into Pro. And then your Barabas, Future Revenge, Dan Licks, yourself, PM, Dean, Pokemark, people like that go into the Pro-Am and fill them 10 slots up.
Unless you need another commentator on PS5.
Well, that's right, commentator on PS5. Right, so we're underway here for the Hungaroring. It's the start of the 20-minute race. It is the formation lap first one out for the evening. Now, the grid order looks like this. It will be Doctor Who will pole, so we have to make sure Doctor Who is on pole. Yes, he is. Darthner will go from second straight there. That is what you love to see. 2 new drivers in, straight on it, straight away. That is brilliant. Right, third place, Dean Wasocki on 200th appearance. Bang on.
He is.
It's a Ginetta 1, 2, 3. This is fantastic. Sooty Apex should be lining up P4. Now, this is where it's probably going to go wrong because it's Sooty. No, he's 4th. Well done. Sooty Apex is... Right. Well done, Graham. John Andrews should be P5. Yes, he is. Future Revenge should be in P6. Tell you what, there's a lot of Ginettas at the front of the pack. He is P6. Then it should be Louis Allen.
It is.
BMW. It is Louis Allen. We're only at turn 2. This is going really well. DJ Phil should be next. And of course,
no, he hasn't made his way through. He's behind Kishanika.
He's behind Kishanika.
He needs to get in front of Kishanika to get behind Louis. Phil, if you're listening, which he probably is. Phil, you need to get past Kishanika. Kishanika needs to back off a tiny bit to let Phil through.
I mean, I don't even think Kishanika was on the power much. Right. Phil is now in the correct place. Then it should be Kishanika. Yes, it is. Then it should be Smokey Devil. Yes, it is. After Smokey Devil, it should be Dennis Newman, who looks a favourite to win this race. Yes, it is. Then it should be Dan on Orthodubs. Yes, it is. Then it should be Fury. Yes, it is. Then it should be Mike. Oh, hello, he's on the grass. Oh, that's the first thing we get from him. Nothing to do with him teaming with DJ Phil next year. We get him on the grass laughing. What have you done there, Mike?
Yeah, that went a bit wrong. I thought, I need to warm my rear tyres, so I'll take my traction control off.
Did you do a Fury?
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, we got live comms to one of the drivers.
Yeah, we had
it's like touring car coverage.
Yeah.
So
Mike,
who's
what's your thought for the race, Mike?
Don't die.
Ah, lovely.
I don't know, actually. I managed to get 6th fastest in practice, so we'll see, I guess.
Lining up these grids every week would do my head in, says Aidan Bennett. It's actually easier than you think, Aidan, especially when people read the reverse grid. Ripper's just put Mike with a laughing emoji. Can't park there, Mike, says Benedict.
Cheers, guys.
So,
love you all too.
Yeah, Nexus and Ripper. Watch out Thursday night, lads, if Mike drops it on the front. I tell you what, funny story. We was testing Mizano for season 1. Mike stacked it on the formation lap. And bearing in mind, this was the short formation lap, yeah? Raced through to get into his grid spot. All the cars went solid because the flags went green, and he just rear-ended Bryn. Brilliant it was. For those
we all know someone who stacked it.
For those who follow my Twitch, there's a clip on there where I stacked it on a formation lap, except I come back through to win the 2-hour race.
Race start initialised, boys.
Race start initialised then. We're getting ready to go. It is green and go here then for race 7 of the season. It is a good start already for Doctor Who. And it is Smokey Devil, who's had an absolute flyer. He's already running in P3. Dean, is he thinking of sending one? No, has to avoid some of the cars in the pack. Where's Sooty Apex? He's looking up the inside. Dennis Newman's gone through the pack as well. And Dean now looking on the back of Sooty. But I tell you what, Smokey Devil, he leads this race already. What a demon start.
Oh, Smokey. Smokey also races elsewhere, and still on Project Cars 2 as well, I might add.
In GT4s. And he's absolutely had a blinder here. Yeah, absolutely had a blinder. The 2 Ginettas are second and third. We're going to wait for the timing screens to come up right. So Dennis Newman, he's gone from back of the pack up to 4th. Fury's up to 5th. Side by side with Dean. Around the outside of Dean. Dan's going to follow suit. Dan trying to stick with Fury and gets the job done. Here comes Sooty as well. Sooty goes through. Louis Allen's going to try and tuck up the inside of Dean. That's not going to work from there then. And here go on the power comes Louis Allen. Up the inside of Dean at the chicane. Dean tries to defend. Oh! And that is horrendous from Peaceful Explosion.
Yeah, that's my bad, that.
That is a big shunt. Taps Dean on 200th race round. DJ Phil all over the back of Kishanika, who's not made the progression through the field. I think we'd have expected. Dennis Newman, though, attacking the back of Doctor Who at the minute.
Yeah, and, well, it's Chaos. Who's right at the back? Car 200, that's Dean, on his 200th race start. I believe Phil was off on the grass. Yep, DJ Phil was off the grass.
Dan.
Swooping
yeah, Dean's moving. Yeah, Dean is moving. Dan's just gone on the outside of Dennis Newman. And now he's looking up the inside of Fury at the penultimate corner. It's not always the quickest line through there. Fury can hold that line and keep it up the inside maybe for the next one. On board with Dennis, who's got Sutty attacking the outside. So Sutty looking great guns. And Fury, little wiggle mid-corner, nearly taps the side of Dan. Smokey's being attacked by De Hoffner down the straight. And Dennis now in the slipstream. Sutty sticking with Dennis Newman as Dean is moving. DJ Phil's just ahead. And De Hoffner couldn't do anything. Kishenyika pits early in this race. And Fury's looking up the inside of Doctor Who as he's on orthodubs. Dennis Newman can't do anything at the moment. And now for Dan, he's got to get this job done. He's got to try and stick with Fury as best he can to try and get himself into this championship contention a little more. Doctor Who keeps that tighter line on the inside. Dan has to go a little deep. I think Dan's got the move done now. Yes, he has. They're both through. Dennis on the back of this fight as well. They both run well over the curve. Track limits will be in full effect there. Now Dennis looks up the outside towards turn 4. Brakes a little later. The Doctor Who cannot get the move done.
No, Kishenika's in the pits.
Yes, he is. Dean's catching DJ Phil as well here. And De Hoffner out front, you know. He's not letting Smokey Devil get away from him.
No, he was a bit over the curve.
Oh, Fury's off! Fury's off! Dan's looking on the inside. Fury wiggles as he comes back on. That could have possibly been a little unsafe rejoin, but I don't think he was in control of the car, so I don't think that one will be looked at. Oh, and Doctor Who's tapped him. They both have a slide. Dennis goes through. Sutty goes through miraculously as well. Sutty's right in the thick of this here, as is Louis Allen, who's now looking up the inside of Doctor Who. That is job done. Great manoeuvre there from them two. And Doctor Who tapped the back of Fury, still trying to fight back now.
Yeah, well, that's all he's got to be known as now, is Doctor Who, isn't it?
Yep.
As Louis wears deep into that hairpin. Well, tight right-hander. Yeah.
Mike up the inside of Future Revenge. Good job from Mike then. They're 3 corners from the end. Dean's getting within the window of DJ Phil now. The question is does anybody pit? Smokey doesn't. Top 3 don't. Dennis tries to tuck underneath Fury. Dan was saying that the BMW's tyres, they go off at this, will go off at this circuit. They seem to go off on the normal tracks. As Mike comes into the pits, Louis Allen is also in the pits. Future Revenge comes following suit. So does DJ Phil. And Dean carries on his merry way. But Dan was trying to break the toe down from Fury there, Pierre, down towards the start straight already. The BMW, though, kills its tyres. This is not the circuit the BMW will want to kill its tyres.
No, this is literally Monaco without the walls.
I like to refer to it as an oversized go-kart circuit.
No, I think my local kart track has a longer straight than this.
There we go. Beckles.
Ella.
Ah, raced at Beckles.
Yeah,
Raced
I've
at Beckles.
raced there many times. I've raced there when it used to be the old airfield. And
Bozzy didn't know how to take his helmet off in between races.
And you wore your seat arse
Lovely.
through.
Right.
Hence why I got candy with fiberglass.
Dan, getting hassled.
Peaceful's away.
Peaceful's away. Louis Allen's away. Is Peaceful jump Louis Allen?
Oh, it's close.
Oh, close. Yeah, that'll be very close on pit exit. So Mike there. Are they going to get, in fact, are these going to jump Kishenyika? No.
No, Kishenika's got them.
Kishenyika has them. Right, but Mike, really close to the back. Louis Allen. Kishenyika actually runs deep at turn 1. Louis Allen runs a little deep as well. And Mike runs wide on exit. Good job, Mike.
I like being able to talk to a driver.
Yeah, it's fun, this. We ought to have this feature more often.
You're going to have this around tomorrow, aren't you?
I don't think that I'll ever offer my ring into the hat to be spoken to while driving. You won't.
No, not after last night.
You won't want me in the party with my microphone unmuted if I get hit.
I think we'll get shut down from YouTube.
I think the channel, the channel will be banned. Yeah, I think you're right.
Not after last night, Matt.
Oh my God! Do not get me started. Do not get me started. Right, Sutty Apex into the pits. Doctor Who moves up into P4. John Andrews comes in as well. Dean Wasocki will stay out on track and go on his own. So it's Smokey from De Hoffner, Unorthodox Fury. Then Dennis Newman. Dennis sticking with the top with Dan and Fury a little bit, but Fury following suit. They are slowly gaining on Smokey Devil and De Hoffner, as Dean Wasocki will gain 2 extra places here then. Down to Kishenyika, who's dropped Louis Allen a little bit, but Louis Allen being pressured by the Mercedes-Benz of Peaceful Explosion. Mike's got to be approaching a milestone, hasn't he? Yeah, he's on 229, so this will be race 230 for Mike. So, you know, he's close to that 250 mark.
Mike got his 200th race for the Spa 2.4, didn't he? we ran.
Believe he did, yes. I believe
We
you're
won't
right,
talk
yeah.
about that one.
No? Why?
No, that was not a good race.
No? Your future teammate hit you off?
I just know it weren't good.
I had a cracking time in that.
Yeah, you
V12
on the podium,
Aston.
on the podium in the V12 Aston P3. Right, Dan being really pressured by Fury now, and then just getting within the time range. Sutty's only away now.
Yeah,
he's down to turn one. I tell you what, Mike can see Sutty. Yeah, Mike can see Sutty here. Mike's eyes might light up as Louis Allen misses his apex. John Andrews, stop-go penalty. What a shame for him. And he's come out ahead of DJ Phil as well, so that is a nightmare for him. Louis Allen on the back of Fury, Fury on the back of Dan. Dan nearly on the back of De Hoffner. De Hoffner pretty much within a second of the car ahead. This is brilliant racing out front. Dan's boxed. Dan's boxed.
Sutty's tyres are not warm yet because Kishanika's all over him into where Felipe Massa had that horrible accident.
Oh, Sutty apex!
That was
These Mercedes drivers tonight, they are terrible.
Whoa, steady on.
Steady on.
Steady on. Smokey has a 1.5 lead now.
So Doctor Who's also pitted. And yeah, Smokey with a 2.5 lead. De Hoffner's got a second to Fury. Dan right to pit there. He's caught up to De Hoffner. Right to pull the trigger.
Sometimes the undercut works. Especially if it's a 20-minute race.
Get out of the traffic. I think the big thing as well is to get out of that traffic, isn't it?
Yeah, you get out of the traffic really early and you can jump so many cars.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Oh, come on.
We'll see what he can do here. As this should be an interesting one. Right, Fury. Fury's actually looking up the inside towards the chicane on De Hoffner then, the new driver. Fury all over the back of him, but that Giannetti just seems to ride the curbs a little better than the BMW. And here comes De Hoffner. This is allowing Smokey to just creep a little further out front.
It is, as Dan's finished his pit stop and he's into turn one. And he is ahead of both Sutty.
Sutty has jumped Doctor Who, and I think Mike's going to jump Doctor Who. He has. Louis Allen has as well. Future Revenge and Kishanyika side by side here. What a lovely little battle this is. Kishanyika's on that inside. Good evening to Fury's mum. Future Revenge backs out that and lets him get that one done. John Andrews in for his stop-go penalty. Now will Smokey Devil pit. He's got 2.5 second gap for Smokey Devil. Will we see him box this time around?
No, not yet.
De Hoffner, who's been passed by Fury and Dennis Newman. So I don't know when that's happened. That's happened in this final sector. Fury's incredibly wide, and Dennis Newman's now going to try and look up the inside of Fury. That BMW straight line speed, though, should give him the advantage. And look, it really does. It pulls him way ahead of Dennis already. Does Dean Wasocki think of boxing? He's not at the end yet. Back onto Dennis and Fury, and Dennis stays behind.
Yep. Dennis is running a lot tighter line than Fury into turn one, which was extended 1 year to make the track a little bit longer for Formula One. Because it used to be a lot more swoopy than that a long time ago.
Dean Wasocki did not pit, and he will put a lap on John Andrews, but there is a battle here at the minute for third and fourth place. Sorry, for second and third. De Hoffner just losing out a little bit. John Andrews' stop-go has been cleared. And Louis Allen trying to stick to the back with Peaceful, but Peaceful is not letting him. Peaceful will really want to gain them 5 seconds on Sutty Apex. You just know that Michael wants to beat Sutty just for that bragging rights between each other.
Yes.
See, former teammates back in the day of Project Cars 2.
Show him who the real Merc driver is.
Oh, De Hoffner was very much over the sausage curb.
Well, he's held it all together for the time being. And the other thing to just point out is that I've been an absolute idiot. I've put my can of pop down and put it down upside down, so it's all spilled.
Genius.
Amazing, amazing. Test my new mop art, I suppose, while I'm having to bring you this broadcast. We're so professional here at SimPlay Motorsport. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like this every week. It's not a shambles.
Smokey is in.
Smokey comes in. We're on board Fury and Dennis Newman. Now, Fury stays out here, as does Dennis Newman. As Dennis is now trying to tuck underneath the Fury, but that straight line speed of the BMW, you just fancy the BMW, and it pulls away, look. De Hoffner stays out as well. And Dan's got some 30-odd seconds to Dean Wysocki. So for Dan, he is quite a way behind Dean at the minute. But that is pretty much your pit window, isn't it? That is the 30 seconds you're in the pits for normally. So it's not too bad if you're an orthodub so far, is it? Because you know that Dean's going to be stationary for 30 seconds.
Well, the car's stationary for 30 seconds, plus the time to get to your pit box. But
Yeah.
luckily, Hungaroring's pit lane is not as long as
It's not or Mezzano from last night, in which a racing league wanted you to pit when you didn't have to pit and not post anything, and then say you didn't win the race.
You did win the race. I've got a screenshot.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's what you get for calling it a can of pop. Well, what do you call it? And no, it wasn't Dr. Pepper Daz. It was a can of Rubicon. What else do you call it if it's not a can of pop?
Smokey is away.
Smokey is away. Where is Dan? Oh, this could be juicy. This could be juicy.
Very juicy.
Dr. Pepper is top tier, Aidan Bennett. Thank you for telling Daz that. Smokey Devil is at turn 1. Daz, he's nowhere near, to be fair.
No. I tell you what, Smokey seems to be really at
He's
home
got
with
some
the BMWs.
yeah, but he seems to be struggling in the pro, but he's doing well tonight.
But then again, though, have you seen the level of some of the drivers in pro?
Yeah, but you've got Fury, and Fury is in pro, and he's struggling to beat Fury in pro on a Thursday, but tonight he's doing well. Not like you to spill a drink, Mathew. No, not like me at all. I got to use my new mop, so it's fine. As Fury and that's a late call from Fury. Now, it was before the orange bollard, so it's okay.
Yeah, and Dennis is right behind him.
Dennis has passed him. He's done a Sebastian Vettel.
He's done a Vettel.
Fury was too cautious on the pit entry for where the pit board was, and Dennis has passed him.
Yeah, as
De Hoffner's in as well. Dennis Newman has just pulled a blinding strategy there by passing Fury on the pit entry.
I guarantee you, I reckon Tony can tell us, is Fury raging about that?
Dean Wysocki pits as well, so everybody will complete their pit stops here.
Yeah, in the car 200.
Nice, Dennis, says Ripper. That is nice. Note that, Dan. If Ripper's slow in the pits and you're right up his chuff, who am I kidding? I ain't going to be nowhere near him. It's Ripper. And then over Mike.
You'll only be that close to Ripper
when
Dennis is
away. yeah, Dennis and Fury away. Right. Now this is juicy because here comes Smokey and Dan down the start straight.
Smokey.
They're not yet off their limiter. I think Dennis is now off his limiter. Dennis emerges. Does Dennis lead this race? The question is where is Dan to Fury? Dan jumps Fury. Who leads the race? Smokey's turned in. And there's Dennis. Was that Smokey turning in on Dennis or Dennis hitting Smokey? I'm not sure. The Hoffner gets jumped by Sutty. And Dan, I'd find his name then. He was down in 6th. Is 3rd. So Dan did not get Dennis Newman, but is ahead of Fury.
Yep. Oh, this is going to be spiky. Spicy? Smoky? Spicy. That's what I meant to say. I'm tongue twisted.
Dean Wysocki still in the pits. Peaceful's got through. He's just behind the Hoffner. Louis Allen's through. Kishanyika's through. Dr. Drew's through. Future Avenger's through. DJ Phil's coming down now as Dean's away. And John Andrews is a lap down. Right, Dean. Head after DJ Phil now on your 200th race.
But is he a lap behind? No,
they're all on the same lap. It's just John Andrews is a lap down.
Yeah, because of his stop go. And where's Devil's lap down being in the pit lane? And Empalava's just turned up in YouTube chat.
Has he? Where?
He's the same. The only thing what warms you up is vodka.
Where?
Vodka.
Oh yeah, there he is. Snowing in Latvia. He texted me a picture the other day. I hope he sent it down because it had Christmas music over the top.
So Smokey leads this race, but controversially.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully Dennis doesn't put that on him.
But we'll see. We will see. As Dan is now filling.
Yeah, he's right on the back. Right on the back. Now, to say this BMW's tyres apparently go off, I tip my hat to Smokey Devil here. As Mike's on the back of our debutant De Hoffner. So Mike looking for another move. DJ Phil's pretty much a sector behind future events. No, he's not, because he's going to cross that line now. Dean, 2.7 to DJ Phil. Down to 2.5. So Dean's charging on DJ Phil at the minute. So we've got 2 battles so far. We've got Mike gaining on De Hoffner, who will want Sooty Apex as well in 3 minutes. That's probably hard for Mike from that far back. And Dan right up the exhaust pipe of Dennis Newman. And look at the way the Chevy just straddles the curb. Bentley-esque.
It is Bentley-esque. Big throbbing V8 in the front. And
again, riding the curb well compared to the Audi in front. This little fight is allowing Smoky Devil to just pull away a little bit. So Dan's strategy ultimately didn't work by pitting that early. It covered Fury off, though.
It did cover Fury. He's managed to jump Fury.
Did he jump
which
Fury,
he needs
though?
to do before the championship.
Yeah, did he jump Fury because of Fury's slow pit entry?
He might have done, because Fury was very cautious. Very cautious.
Little twitch there for De Hoffner. Mike having a look. Can't get through at the moment. Looks good in a Mercedes, does Mike? Maybe he's, tempted for next season. Although if we win the PS5 version, there's only 2 cars I'm looking at.
If we go on the PS5 version, I know what 2 cars I'm looking at as well.
They're probably the same cars as me.
296 M4.
Yep. You know it. I think Mike could be tempted by the 296. I know Mike likes Ferraris. Although actually, there was news to tell Mike, What was, I can't remember who was talking about it the other day. Mustang are bringing a GT3 car out in real life, which means eventually there will be a Ford GT3 car on ACC. And I said, that's exactly what I said to PN. That's got Mike's name written all over it. I said Kishanika's within half a second of Louis Allen.
Can we adapt a Corsa RS 500 for GT3 rules? I would love to have a Corsa RS 500.
If that touring car, if there's apparently meant to be the touring car game coming out next year, if that comes out, I guarantee if we run it on the channel, I know what car Mike's going in.
Yeah, the Focus. I've got one. I'm allowed.
I'm allowed.
Oh, you stay.
I've got a Mark 4 as well.
You don't fancy going in the One Motorsport Honda, no?
No.
No.
I'd sooner go in the Team Hard.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. The Team Hard Cooper. Dan's dropped off the back of Dennis Newman a bit. Fury's gained on the back of him. Mike's lost out.
In on Smokey.
He is. Mike's lost out a little bit to De Hoffner. And Kishanika right all up the chuff of Louis Allen. Now, to tell you what, in one sector, Dean's pulled 1.5 seconds out of DJ Phil. So Dean looking for that 12th place here. Down into turn 1 they come. And Kishanika job done on Louis Allen. He moves up another spot on his home circuit. And Dan looking a little twitchy. That BMW hasn't died as quick as I thought. But look at this. It's 4th for the lead. Fury giving Dan a flash there. You could just see the flash on the rear bumper of Dan's car.
I wish you could see from, a normal camera angle right now. I really do.
This would be fantastic to watch. Look at them all. It is Smokey from Dennis, from Dan. And this blows this championship wide open because Dennis and Smokey, 3rd and 4th, 42 and 43 points behind. This is huge points to pull over Fury then in this. But Smoky Devil comes to the final corner. And he's going to take his first win of the season. He's going to be Smoky Devil in the BMW M4, who wins here at round 7. Dennis Newman, 2nd place. Unorthodox will be P3. It's points clawed back over Fury, who finishes in 4th. P5 will go the way of Sooty Apex. P6 for our new driver, De Hoffner. Peaceful Explosion will finish P7. Kishanika will be P8. P9 for Louis Allen. P10 for Doctor Who. Future Revenge will be P11. Dean Wasocki on his 200th race has got past DJ Phil.
He has got Phil.
So Dean Wasocki here then, on his 200th race, manages to make up a place as well. Wonder if Dean had put a ticket in on Mike. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Fair cop, mate. It's it's a bit late.
DJ Phil, Dean Wasocki P12. DJ Phil is going to cross the line P13, and John Andrews, great to see him back out there, will come across the line P14 in a moment's time. And that then marks off Dean's 200th race. So what we can do is we can put Dean from the blue bracket. And we can put Dean now
Simon Blair, that's Mutt's Nuts.
in the
I
grey
just figured it out.
bracket. Who's Mutt's Nuts?
Because look at who's joined Discord, the Mutts.
No, I don't know if that is. No, I don't think it is. Simon Blair, is your PSN the Mutt's Nuts? If so, let us know. Good race, that's some good battles up and down the field. Brilliant race, congrats, Smokey, says Aidan Bennett and Micro J. And that, as well, crucially, gives BMW yet another race win, and that is its 26th race win. Right, we are going to be back momentarily for race 2. Do not go anywhere.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up, whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket, golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it, you caught it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street like at the young so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening, no, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street light at the end so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, to Assetto, Corsa, Competizione, and SimPlay Motorsport is today's... Hungaroring is today's destination. SimPlay Motorsport's not a destination until we get the sponsorship for Donington Park with the SimPlay Straight and all, which, if you want to see Donington Park, that is the next GT4 event next week from my home circuit and the best track in Britain. Fact. We are joined by the winner and then P3 in the commentary box on Orthodox and Smoky Devil. But before we get to speak with them, guys, we'll quickly run through the championship standings then. Fury leads the way, 25 points his gap is now to Unorthodox. It's been cut short. It's also been cut short to Smoky Devil, who moves up into P3. He's 32 points off the championship lead, with Dennis Newman only 35 points off, so he's also gained a lot of points. Kishenyika is 5th, with DJ Phil now sitting in 6th. Louis Allen 7th. PN drops to 8th ahead of Tibbs in 9th, with Gary in 11th. In 10th, Future Revenge moves up to 11th. Bryn drops down to 12th. Peaceful Explosion moves up to 13th, with Suchi Apex 14th. John Andrews in 15th place ahead of Dean Wasaki P16. Monkey Boy is 17th, with De Hoffner P18. Overtaker is P19. Doctor Who is P20. And Shane bringing up the rear with Detandi and Max Mulder not racing yet. So we are joined by the P3 man, and we'll go to him first of all. Dan, it's a P3 and it's points clawed back in the championship over Fury. Got to be happy with today's first race. What happened? What happened in the pit stops? De Hoffner. Yep. Ah. Yeah. Was having to fight back from there, sort of thing. Should have been more. It was a good little scrap out front, though, before and after the pit stops. De Hoffner with Smoky Devil, Dennis Newman, Fury as well. It was a good little fight between the five of you. Yeah. You've called some points back on Fury. It's little points, but it's points nonetheless. You've got to be happy with the fact you can claw any point back, I suppose, at the end of the day, and it really brings back into contention as we hit the halfway mark next week. 25 points is very doable. Mm. It is at the minute, yeah. Well, Dan, that is the... Dan, that is the Camaro's 6th podium, and he's now 3 podiums behind the Aston Martin, and that is podium number 142 for you. Well done tonight. Best of luck in race 2. And we're joined by Smokey Devil in the commentary box as well. Smokey, a fantastic night for you. I bet you didn't expect the race win.
No, definitely not. It was the last thing I expected, especially starting near the back, mid-pack, near the back sort of thing. But by the time I got to turn 1, I was in first for some reason, so I'll take that.
It was a really good start. You got down to first by the time, I think, turn 2, you was properly in the lead of the race. And it was a really good start. And not really much pressure from behind after that.
No, just when I done my pit stop, but I don't know what happened. As soon as I came out from my pit stop, I could just feel the car just wasn't the same for some reason. So I don't know if maybe tyre pressures were off or something. But I was maybe losing a second a lap and just seeing everybody piling behind me.
It is your, I'm just trying to find out, it is your 32nd podium. And that is now your 7th race win here at SimPlay. 7th? Yeah, 7th race win here at SimPlay Motorsport. And obviously the big race is this one coming up, your 250th. It's great to achieve that 250 milestone. What can you do in this second race?
Well, podium, that's the target. I'd like to try and win it again, because it's my 250th. It's a bit of pressure on me for to try and do it, so gives me something to look forward to and race for. So everybody watch out, 'cause I'm coming.
Well, that's great to see. Smokey, well done tonight. Good. Best luck in your 250th, and we'll let you crack on with your lap. As PN, we're just about to watch Smokey actually cross the line. Here's the next car to get to the line. He puts the power down now at the final corner, and down towards the start line he comes. And at that time, it's going to do. No, that's an outlap. There we go then. 73 then is the next car on a valid one, because it is Dan ahead of him. So that is Doctor Who at pit. Who is the next one on a valid lap? It was a great race 1, PN, wasn't it? It was really entertaining and really good value to watch. The top 4 or 5 have a fantastic battle.
It was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, very.
Fantastic battles all the way through, and kind of shame. I think KTM got 8 by Bentley.
Yeah. What do you think the KTM could have done tonight?
Oh, probably halfway mid-pack. I don't. It's still going to struggle on the straight line speed.
And it's a long old straight here as well, isn't it?
It was lengthened as well one year. I can't remember the year they did it. I'm not that much of an oracle for other circuits. If it's Snetterton.
Right, but Fury crosses line. Apologies. 1:54.3. Next car 200. That is Dean Wasocki, who's just had his 200th race start in race 1, and he doesn't improve there. Next car is 86. That'll be DJ Phil. He's pulled off. That'll be invalid. Car 21 next to Hoffner. Good debut for the German driver. Fantastic debut, just outside the podium.
Yeah, it's the Beamers and the Audi were a bit, and the Chevy was a bit too strong in the end.
Do you think if it wasn't for the long start straight, do you think this Ginetta would be that little bit more competitive? I mean, we saw Gary with Kyle Army straights really make the most of it. Do we think this would have been competitive again here as Sutty just pops himself up into P4?
And Hoffner's P3.
And Kishanika's just gone pole. Yeah, there we go.
Ginetta.
In a Ginetta, so proving to us that we know absolutely nothing, as here comes Smokey Devil to hopefully make us prove us right. No, P5 at the moment. Next car is 271. That is invalid for Dennis Newman. So it will be Dan. 3/10 he needs off the pole. Is Dan looking at Kishanika at the moment, PN, or is he thinking, need to get in front of Fury?
I think he'd be thinking more Fury at the moment, at this stage. And I like to point out, Future Revenge has not gone out to qualify.
Yeah, he never seems to qualify, and I don't quite understand why. Oh, look at that as well. We get to add
as well.
It does really hurt him in Am. It really does. We get to add Smokey Devil to the most successful drivers list now as well on Hungaroring, with no pole positions but 1 win to his name. These are all GT3 stats, by the way. In terms of Formula 1, them stats did not count for drivers' most success around here. It is all purely GT3. If you want to know who the most successful drivers are in terms of wins and pole position, well, everybody's had 1 of each. Nobody's had multiple at the Hungaroring. So in terms of race wins, it is myself, Dan, Louis Allen, Tibbs, Smokey Devil, Camel and Overtaker with 1 win apiece. Boss Soft, Daz Automatic and Ripper with 1 pole position. apiece. Obviously, because by the time we came here, there was no qualifying for AM. There was only the one qualifying for GT3s for Pro-Am and Pro because of the reverse grid, which Ripper and Daz took. So,
but we
yeah,
do have
Dan,
qualifying for them tomorrow.
We do have them tomorrow night, so we'll be able to get an AM driver on that list. Dan will be hoping to add to that in terms of maybe an extra win to his name, maybe the pole position. Obviously, a point up for grabs for pole as well.
Yeah, you go for it, don't you?
Of course.
That's what I mean. Well, I more concentrate on race pace still, because that's where you score the most.
Oh, Switchy Apex jumps over Smoky Devil. Kishanyika's coming to the line now. Can Kishanyika improve on his lap time? No, he can't. Smoky Devil will be the next driver to the line. We're down out the final corner. 1.1 off the pace. No improvement that time around. Dan's next. You got any most successful stats on here, PN?
Most successful crash into the wall when the TV switched HDR settings.
Mexico?
Yeah, and Mexico. Yeah.
You are actually on it. Kyle Army. 1 win.
Oh, 1 win, yeah, for Kyle Army.
With tech leader Sekulovic, Smoky Devil, Fury, Gary. Dan's got 2 and Ripper's got 3 pole positions and 4 wins. As Dan, wow, that's impressive. He's gone provisional pole, 2.5 tenths ahead of Kishanyika, 3.5 tenths ahead of Fury.
Let's see what Fury can do as he's now cut down to the final corner.
Well, he's got to bounce. I tell you what, if we go to PS5, there's no track stats yet for Valencia.
Or Watkins Glen.
No, well, there is because of Project Cars. Project Cars 2.
Fury,
yeah, Project Cars 2. Fury improves only a couple of hundred, so it's not enough to move him up the standings. John Andrews, no improvement for him. Next car is 21. That'll be the Hoffner. Yeah, so Indianapolis, the most successful drivers is Unorthodox and Maze Gamer. 1 pole and 2 wins apiece. Sutty has a win. Bozzy Boy is on Indianapolis's list.
Can we please add the F1 in so I at least have a stat for Suzuka?
Pole position.
The pole position.
In terms of, we've got Suzuka coming up this year, so
yeah,
you'll never know. What else? What's the other tracks? Watkins Glen, Overtaker's the most successful driver there. In terms of Kota, Overtaker's the most successful driver there. Dean's on there with a win. Bozzy Boy's on there with a pole as well. Bozzy Boy's everywhere. Yeah, so interesting. De Hoffner then. Kishanyika. He's gone back pole. 2.5 tenths. So Fury needs Arthur second, but Dan will be happy with that. He's on the front row of the grid.
And ahead of his championship rival, who's Sutty's not going to get another lap out in.
No, neither will De Hoffner.
And neither a future revenge. Why does he not qualify?
He doesn't qualify. Neither will Kishanyika. Now Dan has backed off properly here. He's on a slow lap. And he's really taking his time. He now nails that final corner exit. And here he goes down the start straight. Here comes Unorthodox then. He's now going to start his flying lap. Car 43, that is Smoky Devil. He'll get round to have one last flying lap. Fury just behind him. Dean Wasoki's done. Louis Allen is done.
Fury
improves, but stays P3. He needs 6 thousandths of a second to get himself ahead of Dan. The next car on a flying lap is Dennis Newman. How close is 6 thousandths of a second?
That's not even a cigarette paper, is it?
Cigarette paper thickness, I'd say.
How about a Nat's nut? That might be one of them now.
There we go then. So yeah, so maybe if we're in PS5 League, Sunday nights, Valencia on the cards.
Valencia? Oh, not Cota.
We don't have to Cota, but there's no stats for Valencia at the minute. I've got Valencia, but nothing in it.
Yeah, because normally it's a bike circuit.
Normally it is. So we'll have to see what we can do. We'll have to use all the tracks that's not been used that much. All the tracks that we've not used this year. So Snet, Alton, Valencia,
Watkins, Cota.
Well, we can have 5 tracks, I think it was. So Indy and Watkins, leave Cota. Bang.
Leave Cota out, yeah.
Unless people want to race. Unless people want to race Boxing Day. Fury's done. Yep, he's stopped on track. Here comes Dennis Newman. Will not get to the line. Dennis goes P4. So good lap from Dennis Newman. Does Dan have anything in the bag here? Car 86, that's DJ Phil. He's invalidated his lap. He's done.
Dan's done.
Dan's done. P2 for Dan.
Yeah,
Doctor Who will be next.
No, I'm busy Boxing Day.
I think we're all busy Boxing Day, so...
If I'm not eating a lot, I'm asleep because I've ate a lot.
Because, yeah, I'll be exactly the same as you. Here comes Doctor Who then, to the line. Can he improve anything? No, he doesn't. Smoky Devil, last man to finish qualifying. Can he improve on his time here to get him into that top 6? Goes P5 to Smoky Devil. Really, the best of the rest, you have to say there. 1.1 off the pack. Dennis, Fury, Dan and Kishenyika, all within 0.3 of a second. It is a close qualifying there, PN.
Very close qualifying, and... Well, bring on the race. 45 minutes. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, if you do like what you see here, don't forget we will be back live. Potentially tomorrow night. We'll look into tomorrow night. We'll see what the drivers are like. If there's plenty of drivers, we'll come back live. Myself and hopefully Fury will join us in the comms box for the Hungaroring race of Am, where PN will be on the track in his Bentley. If you like what you want to see and you want to watch... No, not this Bentley. That is my Bentley.
You're on about Bentley that's on my screen.
That
not that Bentley either, because that's not my number.
Kishenyika's Ginetta again. If you want to see... if you want to hear from me and Benedict Varga, aka Nexus, we'll be in the commentary box Wednesday night for Pro-Am, and Piano will be back in the commentary box on Thursday night with an Orthodubs for the Pro Series. Before we head next week to GT4s, myself and PNMotorsport will be back for GT4s at Donington Park. Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah. I miss the Dunlop Bridge. I do miss
but because we've not got the Dunlop straight, we've got the SimPlay straight now, so it makes it better.
But I miss that as a background, because you look down Red Gate and you could down the start-finish straight and you have the Dunlop Bridge in the background.
I also miss the Spitfire that was at the bottom of the Craners. I miss the little spark plug Marshall's post.
And Starkey's Bridge going fully across the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept the historic part.
Whereas then they've got the Melbourne hairpin that's got that like can. I think it's sponsored by a beer company. I can't remember which one, but it's like it just doesn't look appealing.
It, don't they?
I think they do for the events, but it's just like, oh, lovely. You know, it's not. There's nothing at Donington now. I mean, there's nothing, I suppose, now. It's at Snetterton. We've lost a scary tree. You know.
Yeah.
Alton Park's always had its. You knew it was going to be a bad year when that went. Alton Park's not really got anything. Brands Hatch doesn't really have anything. In fact, all the tracks don't really have any iconic sort of landmark to sort of say what they are. When you think of tracks like Suzuka, you've got the if you look at like a landmark, you've got that great big Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Fuji, you've got Mount Fuji in the background.
You've got Mount Fuji in the background. Bathurst, you've just got the view from down the mountain over the edge, not even on the circuit where it says Mount Panorama on the grass.
Nürburgring, well, it's the Nürburgring.
I'm just trying to think of
castle on the mountain, haven't you?
Yeah, you know, there's some iconic things at certain racetracks that you just sort of have. I don't think there is any for Le Mans, but I think you just show sort of like the villages around the circuit or in the circuit.
Well, Le Mans start-finish straight is pretty iconic these days, and the bridge is always there. Dunlop Bridge,
again, you know, it's got the Dunlop Bridge on the track, you know. Silverstone used to have Bridge Corner that isn't there anymore. You know, where it dipped under the bridge, you know, that's gone.
Well, the tarmac's still there, but we'll never run it again because
exactly. You know, the most famous bit of Silverstone is probably Maggots and Beckett's. That's that section. You know, Donny Park's probably the Craner Curves.
Yeah, and the remains of Starkey's Bridge, the part they can't demolish because it's listed.
Listed, the concrete bit that they drive through on the path.
Which was the live race circuit back in the 30s.
It was, it was. It was.
And
so
Kishenyika and the Melbourne Loop was actually in a different county. That's why it's further back up.
Still is.
Because they couldn't give a plan.
Still is.
That bit's still there, but it's got a tarmac in the middle of it now.
As far as I'm aware, Donington Park is on the edge of Leicester and Derbyshire, and possibly Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, that part is still in a different county.
It's the only track. It's the only track that you can walk between three counties, I do believe, in the UK.
Yeah, let's face it, Snetterton's mortal. Why would anyone be here? Oh, right. Cheshire for Walton, Kent for
Brands, Croft is up
Two
north.
counties nearby for Silverstone, because you've got Buckinghamshire.
Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, aren't you? Yeah. Right, we're coming up towards the penultimate corner now. It is Kishanyika on pole. We're going to go on board Fiore, as the drivers will be lining up in double file any time now, you'd imagine.
Well, he should have been done up as soon as it said in the last sector. You should line up double file, really.
Yeah, none of them are lining up double file. Yeah,
No,
cars
they're not.
bouncing off the limiter.
But
No, they're not
Future
lining
Revenge
up double
is really
file.
spread behind John.
They kind of stagnated double file, but nothing anything in particular really now.
That's not particularly very
That's
close,
not-
is it?
Yeah, it's not very close. It's green and go here, though. We're watching from Dennis Newman. Kishanyika doesn't get a great start, and Dan cuts straight across the front nose. BMW power of Fiore had to let off the power a little bit. He's back in front of Kishanyika. He's going to look the long way around on Orthodox. Kishanyika's not done fighting this, though. He's going to go the even longer way around. He's gone so deep. He's not going to make it. Dennis Newman gets that job done on him. Smokey Devil didn't get the same start as race 1, but Dan leads from Fiore going down in towards turn 2. De Hoffner still P6, Sutty Slin 7th. Then it is Doctor Who, Louis Allen, Dean Wasoki's 10th, DJ Phil, John Andrews and Future Revenge. But it is
DJ
really
Phil's
the
out
top
at the
4
back.
that's all turned around.
DJ Phil's out at the back. John and Future Revenge have jumped in.
Right, as Dan and Fiore right over the curb, running a lot of exit curb there as well. Kishanyika was looking on the back of Dennis Newman, couldn't make it through. Smokey just watching the top 4 pull away a little bit with Doctor Who there, Smokey down, Sutty Apex. DJ Phil at the back of the pack, yes he is, as Dean was, in fact he's ahead of Future Revenge. Dean Wasoki on the back of Doctor Who, but he breaks a little earlier for the chicane than the others. And Dean just still following this train. Oh, Louis Allen massively cuts the chicane there. That'll be a track limit warning. Fiore, though, now, we've seen these two go toe-to-toe like this, PN, and we've seen it come off bad at times for an Orthodox when Fiore seems to be behind him in half pace.
Yeah, Carrera Cup on the mind.
Brands Hatch.
Again. Brands Hatch, yeah. Dan defends heavily into the
Does he?
the 90 right.
Fiore seems to have a good race colour scheme on his car. He always seems to go with this red, black and blue at the minute, and it's a lovely colour scheme. It's the colour scheme me and him ran in the Driver Swap PS5 Endurance event at a league that will no longer be mentioned.
Nope. As
Daz looks a little twitchy at the moment.
Tyres might not be up to temp yet because that was a bit of a messy warm-up lap.
It was a bit of a messy warm-up lap. Dennis Newman just looks like he gaps a little bit. They've all dropped De Hoffner.
Kishanyika on the curb and then he held it.
De Hoffner, by the way, sorry, apologies. He's got ahead of Smokey Devil. Louis Allen still behind Sutty. Dean trying to stick with the pack as well. But Dean is dropping John Andrews, Future Revenge, and DJ Phil. Kishanyika, though, Dan side by side with Fiore. They both go a little deep. Dan manages to not go as deep. Fiore taps him as they turn through the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we go again.
Game on.
It's that meme from GTA 5, not GTA 5, GTA San Andreas. Oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
That one.
And the thing is Dennis Newman very capable in that Audi, very fast in that Audi. As Fiore's very wide, as is Dennis Newman on the exit. Dennis Newman will pounce. He will pounce if these two make mistakes.
He will, yeah, and we're nowhere near the pit window yet for another about 9 minutes.
No, exactly 9 minutes, and yes, they won't want any incidents now. Fiore, though, let's talk about Fiore a minute while these battles develop. He seems really good in these support packages stuff. He just can't take that form into his GT3s at the moment.
I think Fury likes a really loose car, and
The McLaren,
GT3s.
isn't it? His best season was the Lamborghini, wasn't it, when it was looser?
Yeah. Oh, he should be brilliant in the man.
He should be brilliant in the Retia. Well, he's brilliant at the moment. He's all over the back of an Orthodox. And the thing is for Dan knows that his car will come to him. Fiore knows that at times his tyres drop off the edge of the cliff. So Dan will be happy at defending from Fiore here, making Fiore work harder to get them tyres to wear more.
Yeah. And being in the dirty air of the Camaro as well will not help Fury.
Just make that BMW slide around a little more and cause its tyres to go off.
Yeah, and if anything, if Fury don't get past by the pit window, if I was Fury, I'll pit.
Box early.
jump
Well, he's
down.
right on the chuff of Dan now. Is he going to think of pulling out? Dennis Newman not quite close enough. Dan goes defensive to that inside line, pretty much to the pit wall. It's a good job Fiore wasn't up the inside, because that would have been like Schumacher Barrichello all them years ago. Fiore to the outside line, though. The BM just runs out of road before it has to hit the brakes. Dan has gone very deep. I don't think that's going to cost Dan too much, has it? Can Dan keep
Fury's
a
in
nose
front.
there? Fury is in front, and it did cost Dan massively.
Yeah. I know. It's now for Dan to become the hunter. And Fury is now the hunted.
A rare mistake from Dan there.
Yeah. Better he wishes he was in his Audi. No, he probably wishes he's in the Porsche.
Yeah, probably. No, I think actually, to be fair, he was on about going in the McLaren originally. In the GT4s.
So Phil is catching John Andrews.
Really?
In the other Audi.
Yeah, but future event is all over the... Well, was all over the back of Phil. Dean Wysocki has left these for dead. And look at this pack a bit further down. From Sooty Apex, he's got Louis Allen and Dr. Who. In fact, Louis Allen is so far wide. Back on the track now.
He's headed to Romania.
Yeah, near enough.
I believe Romania's close to Hungary.
Now look at the top three. Oh, hello. This has got a little juicy. Dan's right on the rear wing of Fury, and Dennis Newman's with him.
Yeah, it's getting very spicy. Oh, I fancy a cat. Flaming hot monster ones right now. Yeah.
Well, let's see in terms of track limits, because Fury, I know, ran near enough all his track limits early on in GT4s last week, and then had to sort of settle. I'm just looking on his stream. There is no warnings for Fury at the moment. We'll keep our eyes on that, though.
Dan's having a look. Hold on the tighter line into the last corner.
Yeah,
Dennis
the thing is, we know that BMW has the legs. Kishanika's nearly involved in this fight as well.
He's with him. Kishanika's with him.
De Hoffner's trying to gain on Smokey. Sooty's with De Hoffner. Louis trying to catch Dr. Who. Dean's trying to catch Louis. DJ Phil right on the back of John Andrews as well. Let's go back to the front three. Oh, Dan's trying to tuck underneath Fury once again here. Dan not losing out to Fury at all at the moment.
No, what a battle for the lead. If I'm leading an AM tomorrow, I don't want this. Because I'll probably have a heart attack. because, okay, the cars aren't real, but it's still racing and it's as real as it comes. And I can't do that.
Dan really looking on Fury. Dennis still there. Kishanyuk has now come to play. Smokey Devil not got the same pace he had in race one, just not able to stick with him. De Hoffner and Sooty trying to go with him. Then it's a gap back to Dr. Who, who's Louis Allen's dropped off the back. Dean's actually catching Louis Allen here, so Dean looking all right in that Ginetta.
Dean's catching the Pro-Am champion.
Dean is catching the project. Do you know Dean's done 2 races in these GT4s? I feel like Dean's looked good in GT4s. I know Mike punted him in race 1, but Dean looks like he's no pressure. No pressure. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoying his driving.
Oh, even though that was a bit of a cut in the first part of the chicane. Little bit of a cut. But it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be getting the warning there for that. Let's go back.
It was very borderline. I noticed that when I've done some practice races. Yeah, it's a certain point and you go a millimetre over, bang, track limit warning.
Yeah. Well, just looking at Dean Wysocki stream, Dean actually does have, I think that says 2 track limit cuts.
Ooh.
Already.
And we've still got 37 minutes left of the race. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean's got 2 track cuts. So 2 more, and that'll be a drive-through penalty for Dean. Fury doesn't have a single one. Dan, I don't believe, has a single one.
But Dan looked like he followed him. Dennis was about 0.8 of a second behind the top 2, so couldn't capitalise on that.
Dan doesn't have a single track limit warning. Let's look at Fury. Fury's, I don't think, actually shows up until he loads his pit box up, so I can't actually see Fury's for some reason. His does not load until he loads his pit box up, so we'll never know with Fury. But don't forget, 4 track limit strikes, and that is a drive-through penalty. Dennis and Kishanyuk are still sticking there. De Hoffner's catching Smokey Devil now. Sooty's really nowhere. Dr. Who and Louis Allen trying to gain on him. John Andrews still behind Phil. Phil, wow, that is wide.
That must be a track limit.
Yeah, has to be.
Question is, though, will Phil have to stop the car to walk the dog?
Well, we'll see in this 45-minute race.
As
Middle
John
sector of the lap.
Still with him, and
he is still with him.
Revenge is there as well. Be interested to see where Future Revenge would have been if he qualified.
Qualified, yeah. I keep saying this in Pro-Am as well. It'd be interesting to see where he'd be if he qualified. Right. All up and over the curb. Now through the
yeah,
right
okay,
hand.
you run more of a risk of getting hit sometimes
Yeah.
if you mid-hack. But then that's what the stewards are for.
Exactly. Doctor Who's on the back of Sooty Apex, so Doctor Who looking to get past Sooty.
I feel like doing the Doctor Who theme every time I look at him.
Right, Fury's just started to pull away from Dan a little bit now, so that BMW's just starting to stretch its legs.
Yeah, and Dennis Newman is quite close to Dan. He's did brake twice there, because I saw the brake lights come on and off. Smokey's now 6 seconds behind the top 4.
Got De Hoffner not far behind him though.
No, and Sutty is on the grass slightly.
So he's being attacked by Doctor Who massively. Dean's now 2.3. That gap's just gone up a couple of tenths from Louis Allen to Dean, who's kind of on their own. And then DJ Phil very deep at turn 1. John Andrews going to look up the inside, can't get the move to stick. And Future Revenge just cannot complete the move. And this has been his problem, is he doesn't qualify, gets stuck in these positions and just cannot finish the move, can Future Revenge.
No,
Phil's wide again. Phil's very wide. John Andrews won't need a second invite. Job done. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
There's the first one of the night.
Phil is all over the place at the moment. Is he going to look to attack? John Andrews coming back into turn 4. No, on the brakes. Turns in now. John Andrews slides a little wide. Back on the track. DJ Phil, nearly runs into the back of him there.
Yeah, and there's Future Revenge on the back of Phil.
Dan's brought the gap down to Fury, 4 tenths. So good middle sector for Dan then. He's brought the gap down.
But he's bringing Dennis with him.
Oh, Fury's gone onto the grass. He's braked on the grass. He's gone so incredibly deep. Dan is going to get through. Can Dennis get through? No, he can't. And a mistake there for Fury has allowed Dan through.
So Dan's made a mistake deep in turn 1. Fury's made a mistake into whatever turn number that is.
Well, it was going into the penultimate corner. Fury and Dan now side by side. That BMW grunt is just ridiculous and pulls back in front of Dan before they've even hit the braking zone. The question is, Fury needs to nail his brakes. He's just gone deep at one corner. Will he go deep again? Dan tries to turn in. Dennis nearly taps the back of Unorthodox. And now Dan tries to get the run out the corner compared to that BMW. And is it that BMW's tyres that are just starting to get a little worse? We see that the BMW has a weird tyre cycle on the PS5 version of the game. Pit window opens in 30 seconds.
Yeah, who will be the first to... Everyone's across the line, so no one's going to get in 5th lap.
No.
Apart from them 2 Bentleys, which are the commentator's cars.
So Fury makes a mistake, and Dan ends up losing out at turn 1 because Fury goes back through.
Yeah, the grunt of the Beamer came... You would have thought the Camaro was more grunty.
You would have thought so. American sort of muscle power.
Oh, Dennis clipped the chicane.
Pit window is open.
Who will blink first? Will it
Dan really gains in this middle sector. Fury's gained a little bit there. Dan had a bit of a slide through the right-hander.
Who's going to blink first?
You know if Kishanyika could blink first, or Dennis could blink first here.
Yeah, do the undercut.
You know. Fury doesn't take to the grass onto the braking zone at the penultimate corner this time. Is any of these two going to blink first? Is any of these two going to box straight away? No, Fury's they stay out on track. Neither does Dennis, neither does Kishanyika. So the question is, what about Smoky Devil? No. To Hoffner. No, he doesn't either.
9.
Sooty Apex.
Yes, Sutty's coming into pit lane. First, Doctor Who. Doctor Who stays out.
Louis Allen boxes.
Doctor
Who David Tennant was the best.
David Tennant's the Doctor again.
For now. Because then it's going to be that the other guy, isn't it? They've already announced.
Yeah.
Dean stays out, John Andrews stays out, DJ Phil stays out. In fact, Future Revenge got past DJ Phil and he's right up the rear wing of John Andrews. So, interesting here between them two. The McLaren, look at the McLaren's pace in a straight line compared to Ginetta. Wow, that's quick. And Dan's now 1.5 seconds behind Fury.
Yep, those Dan's tyres die.
Well, I don't know.
But Dennis has dropped.
Yeah, Dennis is
second
1.2 off the back of Dan, so not quite sure what's happening here. Ebbing and flowing, some may say.
Some may say. Mathew Duffin says that. Have you heard of him?
I have. He's that fantastic commentator from Racing Unleashed.
Great beard.
Go. Thank you. Go and check them out.
I've shaved mine off now because
Just come. I've just ordered some Viking beard balm or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'm shaving mine off now because
and
it's
a proper nice brush for it. Make it look even better.
That's
Future Revenge on the back of John Andrews, but we're going to turn our attention to the leaders. Who boxes this time round? Fiore stays out. Dan stays out. Dennis Newman stays out. You know who stays out and who pits because the way they jink to the right-hand side of the circuit. Smokey Devil. In his own little world at the minute is Smokey Devil, bless him. He's going to stay out as well. Hoffner stays out. Doctor Who stays out. Dean Wasocki. Race number 201.
Does he stay out? It's a tight line through that corner.
It is a tight line. He stays out. John Andrews, who's got Future Revenge right up the chuff.
John
Both
stays out.
stay out. DJ Phil stays out. Sutty has got Louis Allen for company since the pit stop. So Louis Allen's gained a lot of time over Sutty Apex here. Now, these two are coming together. Dean wasn't far behind Louis Allen before the pit stops. That could play into Dean's hands. Back out front, though. 1.5 down to Fiore still. 9 tenths back to Dennis Newman. 8 tenths back to Kishanyika. Good little fight for this top three. We're going to stick with the Future Revenge John Andrews fight. That's the closest fight on track at the minute. Again, apologies for the camera angles. Not sure whether it's a PS4 or G-Portal problem, but the camera angles are not working. And we cannot bring you the TV director camera angles. But there is stuff in the pipeline coming in the future within the next couple of weeks. Louis Allen's mistake at the penultimate corner puts to bed a little fight with Sutty at the moment, and that could really play into Dean's hands the more them two scrap when Dean pits later on, because Dean wasn't a million miles away behind Louis Allen.
No, he wasn't. He was about 2.5 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Really?
Dennis lost out to Dan again. Dan's kept the gap at 1.5 seconds. Kishanyika within 4 tenths of Dennis. Now do the leaders pit?
That's what I'm keeping an eye on.
Here comes Fiore. No. Dan. No. Dennis. No. Kishanyika. No.
Kishanika's right on Dennis.
He is 4 tenths of a second. That could possibly be a little closer as well. Down the start straight they come.
Smokey stays out. Who's
Kishanika's
dropped?
probably not. No, De Hoffner's catching it with 3 points something last time around. I believe. Doc 2 stays out. Dean Wasocki.
We're probably trying to get to the halfway point of the race, to be honest.
Yeah, that's where I'd be saying. Dean stays out. John Andrews. Dean's done well to, John Andrews' Future Revenge in his category in Pro-Am. That'll give him some confidence going into tomorrow night. Inam, apologies. Yep, apologies.
Future Revenge is in. Does he just slow down in time to 31 mile an hour? Look like it.
So Sutty Apex should get through. He's dropped Louis Allen by 2 seconds. Kishanyika's within half a second of Dennis. Dan's gap is still 1.5. It's not changed from 1.5. It's just the hundredths and thousandths that keep changing between Dan and Fiore. But Kishanyika within half a second of Dennis. Dennis looks like he's gained time over Dan as well.
It's definitely ebbing and flowing. This
really is. Really is. Through the middle sector, Dan to Joe. 1.5.
30. Do GT4s on PS5 and 30 of them.
We could do a multi-class. 15 of each.
Multi-class.
Project Cars 2 was 16 cars. Do 15 each.
And actually, 15 Pro, 15 Pro-Am. Pro-Ams are in GT4s and Pros are in...
Provided they've got the DLC, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. That'll be sure. A lot of DLC transfers over. Luckily.
Well, we find out. We could find out. New Super Trofeo versus Ferrari Challenge versus Porsche Cup.
Porsche Cup.
That'd be interesting. Oh, now look at this. Future Revenge is in between Dan. He's moved straight out of the way of Dan, yeah, but it was straight in between Dan and Fiore. Dan brought the gap down to 1.4. Future Revenge stays right. Dennis Newman. Oh, Dennis, that was a little close.
Smokey is in the pits.
Smokey is in the pits. Dr. Who stays out. Dean stays out. DJ Phil's back on John Andrews here. But John Andrews is going to box.
He does
I swear down DJ Phil's D-pad.
I've got that feeling. It looks like it.
That's not like analog movement. Analog. That looks more twitchy than an analog controller movement.
That looks more twitch. Well, I use analog sticks.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And mine don't look that jerky.
Dan lost 0.4 of a second just by Future Revenge coming out. Kishanika's hopped over the curb at the chicane, lost time. So Dan lost a bit of time there. John Andrews box. So Sooty Apex will get that. So Smokey's done. Oh, he's nearly off the limiter. Sooty's not even round the final corner. Yeah. Smokey will stay well in front of. So Smokey, best of the rest. P5 he's playing for today in this second race.
Yeah. For his 250th race.
A good result. Best of the rest, really, when you think of Kishenyika, Dennis, Dan and Fiore. Quick drivers of their own rights. Dan, a 6-time champ. Fiore, a 4-time champ.
Yeah.
Oh, another late call from Fiore. But he's in.
Fury
it's the orange. It's the orange cone is the new rule for the pit lane. If you're in before the orange cone, it doesn't matter if you cross the solid white line, I do believe it is.
That's what we... Because we're not watching it anymore. It's up to the drivers to put it in.
Yeah, now John Andrews leaves the pit lane, and he's coming out. Just had a Kishenyika? No.
No, Kishenika's passed.
No. Smoky Devil, 9 seconds ahead of Sooty Apex. John Andrews is behind Louis Allen. Louis Allen's dropped from 5 seconds off the back of Sooty Apex. John Andrews stayed ahead, though, of Future Revenge. So that's a crucial piece of information.
The track temperatures now is down to 26 degrees. Cool.
Yeah.
Last time we were here in Hungaroring, it was in its 40s.
It was, don't forget, middle of the summer.
Yeah. In the summer, the heat what we had. Yeah. Hence why I've got an air conditioning unit.
Yeah. Oh, Future Revenge late on the brakes. Sorry, I've just changed back to Fury, but he's punted John Andrews in the rear. Fury is now away. Now, Fury is away. Smoky Devil's not yet at the final corner. Fury is off the limiter now. So Fury down to P8.
Something.
P8 when Dean and DJ Phil go through the sets time. Dean, 10 seconds clear of DJ Phil. DJ Phil come into this GT4 season saying that he was going to beat a load of drivers.
Well, he's going to beat me now.
He's currently P6, but he's yet to pit. Louis Allen will jump him. Future Revenge might... Dean, if Dean was to do the rest of this season, Dean could jump DJ Phil here. He's only 56 points behind.
Yep. Dan and Den are supposed to stay out. Kishanika stays out.
The Hoffman's not yet there. Fury as well, by the way, has got clear track until he gets to DJ Phil. So he can push the car. Darfner doesn't pit. Doctor Who, does he pit? 9 minutes left of the pit window.
Doctor Who
does pit. Dean Wasocki now.
Does Dean.
Who was that off at turn 1? 574. Who's 574? Think.
Future Revenge.
No, Future Revenge wasn't off. It's whoever's behind him. It's 53. Kishenyika was off deep at turn 1. He's lost out massive amounts of time to Dan. And Dennis and Dan have just gone through sector 1. And Kishenyika's only just gone through turn 4.
Doctor Who's in the pits. Dean has stayed out. DJ Phil is now pitting. Oh, that looked loose coming through there.
So Kishenyika has dropped it at turn 1. Something happened there.
Yeah, and unfortunately we go to Brew. Actually, No, we tried the replay, didn't we? See if it fixed the camera angles, but it doesn't.
It does, but then you don't get no leaderboard.
Yeah. Which you don't want.
We have to try that properly. Doctor Who is now away. Starts moving now. Fury's already through. Smokey's already through. Sooty will get through. Yeah, he should come out behind Louis Allen. Doctor Who was actually gaining on, I believe, Louis Allen. Or Sooty Apex, can't remember. But he's off the limiter now. Where is Louis? There he is. Going into turn 1. Doctor Who will stay ahead as Louis gone deep. DJ Phil still stationary in the pit. So, Future Revenge coming to the final corner. John Andrews is not yet. Oh, Future Revenge. Kishenyika's trying to pit at Future Revenge. Was looking up the inside of Kishenyika. And Smoky Devil drive through for track limits.
There's the first one. There's the first track limit currently. That's blown Smokey's best ever race.
Kishenyika in. DJ Phil has jumped John Andrews and Future Revenge by a good margin.
Cool, yeah. That's a very handy margin. Future Revenge is only now turning in. Smokey, all that brilliance in race 1 and crushing disappointment and defeat in race 2.
And Dean, it was Dean we noticed, who had 2 track limit warnings to his name.
Yeah. Oh, how many has he got now?
I dread to think. Well, he's not going to drive through yet, so he's done well.
He's done well, yeah. There's only 6 minutes left of the window.
Yeah, they've got to start coming in thick and fast. Dan's gapped Dennis Newman a good amount here.
Dean is not coming. He's just around turn 1.
Yeah, and Fury's only 14 seconds behind him. So the more that Dean stays out, the better this will be.
Kishenyika is now away. Smokey is in for his drive-through. I suppose it's only a drive-through. It's not as bad as a 30-second stop-go. Especially that, say...
It's bad enough, though. Where's Sooty Apex? Sooty will get through. Doctor Who will get through. Louis Allen might not. Smokey's coming down to be off the limit. Yeah, he will, actually. He will.
Yeah, he will.
But that also could help Dean.
It could help Dean, because Phil's now in the penultimate corner.
Yeah, Smokey's off. Smokey's out. He's at turn 1. Louis only just got past Smokey. Dan stays out. Dennis stays out. Will De Hoffner stay out? De Hoffner's actually gaining Future Revenge. No, he is going to box. Dean Wysoki's middle sector. Now, Fury is 12 seconds to Dean now. Fury will be wanting Dean. If they're in the same party, Fury may be telling Dean to pit soon to get out of Dean's way. Yeah. Let's get out of Fury's way. De Hoffner is in. Well, that'll put De Hoffner P5, I imagine, in this race. Kishenyika's had a moment before his pit stop. Smokey's had the drive-through, so I reckon De Hoffner here could be where Smokey was before the pit stop, which will be P5 when Dean makes his stop. Dean is now in, so that'll be good news for Fury. Because Fury had to get down to 9 seconds, so took 3 seconds out of Dean. In that last part of that was well controlled by Dean there. Into the pits comes Dean. So Fury through on the pair of them. Kishenyika will be through on Dean. On De Hoffner, I reckon he will also be through. This is good to judge when they drop where they will come out in terms of on the track. We knew that at Imola, if it was at Ragazza, Ragazza, I don't know even where I pulled that from. If he was at Ravazza, he was out. De Hoffner's dropped. Sooty's come through the final corner. So let's see now where De Hoffner is compared to Sooty. Sooty will get Dean Wysoki. He's also going to get De Hoffner. Job done. What about Doctor Who? Doctor Who will not get De Hoffner, but will get Dean Wysoki. It wasn't caught on stream, unfortunately. So we won't look at it unless it is put in by another driver. Smoky Devil gets through. Louis Allen gets through. Smokey's past Louis Allen as well. So Dean is going to be quite the way behind them two. Dean has been dropped now as Dan's in. Dean has been dropped while DJ Phil is at the final corner. Dean's off the limiter. Phil's at the final corner. So Dean comes out exactly where he was before he pitted.
Yep. Not a bad result with Dean finishes there.
Look, to say he's not tested this Ginetta and he's just jumped in as a reserve driver, I'm sure he'll take this.
Yeah, I think he might take this more than Pro Am. Well, Am.
I think he wants to win tomorrow night. Well, he might not be here actually tomorrow night. It's his wife's birthday, so he's out.
And a wise person once said, spend time with your wife because she will kill you if you don't spend time with her.
I think Dean will be looking.
Anniversary.
Dean likes Donington Park. I think Dean will be looking to go well at Donington next week.
I think most of Am will be. Well, need to stop Dan Nick. You definitely need to stop Dan.
Dan and Fury, Dan and Dennis are away. Fury's coming down the straight. Dan's off the limiter. There's Fury. He sees Dan emerge. Dennis is now emerging as well, but Dennis is going to be behind Fury, and Dan's got a great gap.
He has. That's about 2 seconds, would you say?
Yeah. Dennis not far off the back of Fury, but Dan, he's worked wonders. The overcut really has worked for unorthodox here. So Fury with clean air, it has not worked for him.
And Dan's going to be on fresher tyres at the end.
A lot fresher tyres.
4 fresher Pirellis. Fury hopped the curb.
So what's the gap? We'll find out in a minute. 2.3. That is a big gap for Fury to claw back.
It is.
And with the extra... who was on pole position? It was Kishenyika, wasn't it?
Kishenyika. Yeah.
Well, I forgot to add his extra point to his name. So we add that now. Is that his first pole position?
Kishenika's still 4th.
That is Kishenika's first pole position. Yeah, and Sutty now, look, because Sutty actually jumped to Hoffner. Sutty's P5, best of the rest.
Yeah.
So, good result for Sutty.
Who apparently will be racing in Pro-Am on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's back. He's not at work this week. So, Kishenyika got his first pole position. He's not going to get his first win, but Dan could make it win number 64, podium number 43, and could also give Chevrolet its 3rd win, making it tied with the Lexus and the Aston Martin and 1 ahead of the Retia. But he's got to get the job done because Fury's actually closed the gap to 1.6 seconds within his outlap. But don't forget, Dan will still be getting the tyres up to temperature. Joe will now be pushing his tyres that little bit harder to make sure they stay in, till the end of this race.
Yeah, and it's sort of like see the target of that pink back end of that Chevy.
Yeah, and I think Dan now will be wise enough to not make them same silly mistakes he made earlier on to let Fury through.
No, and they've pretty much dropped Dennis at the moment.
Yeah, Dennis just hasn't had a response since the early part of this race. Smoky Devil within a second of Dr. True. Smoky Devil's having a good comeback drive since his drive-through. He's had pace. 5.4 off the back of... So what is he? He's 1 second behind Dr. Who. Dr. Who's 5.4 off the back of De Hoffner. Doffner 4.9 off Sutty, so he's only about 10 seconds behind Sutty, to be fair. He could get Sutty by the end of this one.
It's 12 minutes. Anything can happen in 12 minutes. Anything can happen in a minute, to be honest.
Pit window closed from race control.
All 13 drivers have made their mandatory pit stop.
Now, Smoky Devil is no longer 1.1 behind Dr. Who. He's really close. One thing I've just noticed on the track map, John Andrews has just gone through Sector 2 timing screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Dan is the corner before the Sector 2 timing screen.
Yep, I can see him on the track map.
Back markers are going to start to play their part. Joey's still 1.3 behind. Smokey's within half a second now of Doctor Who. Back markers to play their part. Where will Dan want to catch John Andrews, which will then hurt Fury a little bit?
It will, won't it?
Where's the part of the track you'd want that to happen? It's got to be the chicane.
It's got to be the chicane.
Let Dan through just before the chicane, and Fury can't get through. That's what Dan will be wanting right now.
But how quick will he catch John?
Well, John's into turn 1 now. Just exited it. Dan's just past the pit exit wall. So it's not a million miles.
As I watch the Smokey versus Doctor Who fight.
And in front of that you can see De Hoffner, who's got 7 seconds now to Sutty, so I don't think Smokey will be able to get
having a look down the inside.
Oh, contact.
Doctor Who was... Smokey was alongside there. Enough there.
Yeah, looked it to me. Looked it to me.
That's what it looked to me as well.
Well, Smokey's gone through. He's now got to try and chase down Doctor Who. Down to Fury 1.1. How much is Fury ragging that BMW around here?
A lot.
John Andrews at the chicane.
Yeah, Dennis has completely dropped down.
He's just gone.
6 behind.
He's just gone. And Kishenika's not responded to Dennis.
No. Has Dennis' tyres not under pressure?
Possibly.
Perhaps?
Possibly. Kishenik is now 17 seconds behind Dennis. Where's Sutty? Sutty was 9 point something before the window. 9.5 now, so... Louis Allen's now on the back of Doctor Who. Louis Allen looks like he's got some rear end damage. Tell you what,
is Smokey going to catch the other with the Hoffman?
Yeah.
And
that's the biggest question. Into the penultimate corner comes John Andrews now. He's a little wide. He exits it now as Dan enters it. That's getting close. That's getting awfully close for Dan and John Andrews. Dan will probably want John Andrews to be there in the middle sector of this lap now. Because Joey's within 1.1. Joey's coming.
And unlike Formula 1, we don't have DRS.
No. That BMW feels like it's got DRS though. It must look like... to Dan, it must look like it's got DRS the way it pulls on a straight.
Yeah. I don't like DRS.
Hard on the brakes into the first corner. I feel like Joe had a bit of a wiggle going into the corner. Now Dan exits turn 1. John Andrews is just turning into turn 2 now as Dan breaks into it. On board Dan, look, as he comes through, can we see John Andrews flicking through turn 3? Yes, you can see him going up the hill. Look, there is John Andrews.
Let's not have a race suspension failure from a brawl.
Right. Up over the curb. You see John Andrews a little more now.
Fury is pretty close now to Dan. He'll be sniffing the exhaust fumes. I don't recommend that, by the way.
He's got... Yeah, but this is where Dan should capitalise. Through this middle sector. This is where Dan would have wanted to catch John Andrews. It now looks like Dan's going to catch John Andrews at the part where Fury's going to be quickest. The main straight.
And Dennis is now 6.2 seconds off the back.
And Kishenik is not gained on Dennis. Sutty's not gaining on Kishenika. Louis Allen's still within 8/10 of Doctor Who. Future Avengers got past DJ Phil. Fury's now 7/10 to Dan. And look, Dan, he'll start to get some slipstream from John Andrews. But that's not what he wanted.
No.
Last 8 minutes of the race, and all of a sudden Fury is starting to hot things up here.
It's game on, isn't it?
Massively so. And the thing is as well, is this is massive for the championship. John Andrews stays that inside line. Dan puts the lap on John Andrews. And McLaren
Can Fury get past before the corner?
Well, Dan... okay. Not sure what was happening there.
I
John
saw
Andrews,
that as well.
yeah.
That was a bit
not sure what Dan was doing there. That was probably putting Dan at more risk in case the backmarker outbraked himself.
Yeah.
Either way,
7.1 now.
They've put the lap on John Andrews. Dennis Newman can't even see John Andrews at the moment. He can't. Just entering turn 3, 2.
I'll tell you what, Smokey is gaining under Hoffner.
Yeah, 4.2. We'll keep our eyes on that gap. Louis Allen's still half a second behind, but Fury coming up towards turn 4. That gap's 0.3 of a second. Dan runs a little wide at turn 4 on the apex. Now Fury has a sense of attacking. Dan goes defensive. Fury's going to have to go the long way round. Dan won't mind him going the long way round because that'll mean Joe's got to go the long way round at the chicane. Now does he get the run? He's no way going to get that run done, and he wisely brakes before Dan and tucks back in behind and thinks about doing it. Now it's the point of the circuit where unless the car in front makes a mistake, you kind of just have to follow him.
It's definitely following my lead around this part of the circuit.
Dan's fresher tyres aren't working that well for him here. Joe has a look, but again brakes earlier than Dan and just tucks back in behind. This is a good patient side of Joe that we've not seen for a while.
It is. I'm impressed.
Nice early on the brakes, and he is just having a little look at Dan and making Dan think about it. Now Dan, for this championship, really needs to stay ahead of Fury.
He does.
And the problem is, he's now can't rely on Dennis Newman to put pressure on Joe.
Louis is now in front of
Doctor Who. Yeah, he is. So Louis got that job done. Smokey's got the gap down to 3.7, which means he's 10.8 behind Sooty Apex. Is Smokey Devil.
Dan's picking up all the detritus that have been there now after 40 minutes of racing. Fury is just alongside. Does Dan make the brakes?
He does. Dan brakes a little earlier than Fury and made the apex of the corner an absolute peach. And Joe has to get it done in this next couple of corners, because otherwise we're back into that middle sector where Danny's just going to be stronger. Fury looking each way till Sunday, but has to go to the outside line. And Dan just needs to Jason Plato his way around this track. Needs to park it on every apex. Needs to make sure he gets it stuck through turn 3, up the hill. This will be Joe's last chance to really attack before the middle sector. He's going to be forced to go the outside line. He's not going to get it done around that line. Brakes earlier than Dan again and tucks him behind. Looks to get the cutback, but Dan gets the better run through. Game on with 5 minutes left in this race.
It's on, isn't it? It's on like Donkey Kong.
Smokey's got the gap down to 2.7 now. She's absolutely charging. Joe keeps looking, but just cannot find a way through. Outbrakes himself a little at the chicane, hops over, loses a lot of time to Dan.
Yeah, and now, because Joe's in the dirty air of Dan, and that's got to kill his tyres even quicker.
Yeah. He's going to kill the tyres.
Tell by how the car's moving around the front aero.
Dan's had a slide. Dan's had a big slide through here, and now Joe gets to run. Did he just tap the back of Dan a little bit there?
No, not tap.
Well, he's going to go the long way round, third to last corner. Dan's just got to park it on the apex. Your 4-time champ up against a 6-time champ. The difference is Dan has only won 3 other categories. Joe has won 3 other categories. So in terms of non-GT3 events, Dan has won 3, Joe has won 3. But Dan is a 3-time pro champ. Joe is a 1-time pro-am champ.
This is a great battle.
Fantastic.
I'm keeping an eye on the gap between De Hoffner and Smokey.
Doctor Who's 2 attempts to Louis Allen. In fact, Doctor Who's through. Louis Allen cut the chicane, so Doctor Who's back through. Back to Joe to the outside line of turn 1. And Dan is literally just Jason Platoing Fury here. Textbook stuff from the 6-time champion.
Should have a number of 99, really, shouldn't he? Or 11. Oh, wait, that's Mike. What other numbers has Plato had over the years?
He had a ridiculous one when he was in the MG, I do believe. Oh, Joe wide.
I miss that engine.
Yeah.
But it just stopped the development, didn't it, when
it did. Joe!
Track limit!
It's over! It's over!
He will be livid with it!
It is over! Wow! Well, we know who's had 4 warnings. Dan can rest easy. And Dennis Newman and Kishanyika and maybe even Sooty Apex will get through here.
Yep. Dan might as well just let Joe go.
Wow. Fury will be livid.
Oh, it was going to happen sooner or later because we had Smokey with one earlier. Ironically, also in the BMW.
Yeah, Dean, who had 2 strikes within about 10 minutes of the race, he's not had one yet.
No.
Joe will be livid.
He will be. Will he serve it?
I'd serve it now, because
yeah, he is.
Next lap could be the last lap. Dennis Newman is going to come past before Fury's even on the pit limiter. It looks like Fury goes on the limiter now, and Dennis Newman is going to come flying past now.
I think Fury might beat Kishanika. It'll be close. Kishanika's 22 seconds behind Dennis.
Dean is still on 2 track cuts. Just checked.
Oh, right. Kishanika's now coming round the final corner now. Fury is
off the limiter now. Damage limitation.
Yeah, that's a podium.
It is a shame, Jakes. It was a great battle. It is going to be a podium for Fury. It looks like he's well ahead of Kishanyika. Smokey Devil, by the way, he's no longer 1.1 off the back of De Hoffner. He's on the back of De Hoffner.
He's on the back, isn't he? That's 9/10 of a second.
9/10, and it's probably going to be a lot closer by the time they break into turn 1. De Hoffner's only 6.6 behind Sutty. I think we're going to get one lap after this left, depending on what Dan wants to do. But I tell you what, Smokey's close. Smokey is close here.
Smokey is very close, and didn't he say earlier he's taken no prisoners?
Yeah, he's coming. He's out to race. No, he's out to race, and brilliant to see.
Smokey, who probably races every night.
Yeah, probably does. And he's in for his, 250th race. That'll put him in the orange bracket with Fury, DJ, Phil and Gary. But you have to say, Dan was defending like an absolute beast.
Smokey's looking down the inside at turn 5. The Hoffner's inside.
Well, we're going to go to Dan line, because I think Dan's going to slow down here to make this the final lap of the race. I don't think Dan's going to do one more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unorthodox 16. He's going to win for a second time this season. It is Dan who has a brilliant defensive drive that wins the race. Dennis Newman will come across for P2. Fury, well, what could have been in P3. John Andrews is going to be P13 just ahead of them.
Hoffner's defending.
But I'm sure Fury will be absolutely kicking himself for that penalty. It's going to be P3 for Fury. Kishanyika will cross the line for P4. Good result for Kishanyika there. Sutty Apex, solid P5 from Sutty.
Smokey's just got to Hoffner in the penultimate corner. 2
P5s today for Sutty Apex.
De Hoffner just tapped it back into Smokey.
And Smokey is going to come across for P6. Good result for him. De Hoffner, P7. Again, solid result. 6th and 7th on your debut. Good results that. Doctor Who is going to come across for a P8. Louis Allen will be P9. Dean Wasocki, solid result for P10.
Yes. He's just out here having fun, and he better not anger his wife tomorrow. That's why he's here tonight.
Yeah. He's done his 200th. He's took it to the bank. Dean Wasocki comes around the final corner. Future Avengers caught Dean, so I don't know if Dean's had a few moments.
He might have done. His tyres he's sliding around a lot.
He is a little bit. Tyres maybe gone. But Dean Wasocki, P10. Future Revenge
P11.
Will be P11. And DJ Phil will be P12.
Yeah.
But that does all sorts for this championship. It really does. Because we now get what will be an absolutely fantastic championship fight. And the fact that Fury finished 3rd, well, that makes it even more interesting. So we hope to get Dan and Fury in the comms box. The championship gap is now 17 points. So Dan has pulled, a good margin of points back there. What's the gap? So Dan has pulled 8 points back in that race there with Fury's drive-through. So Fury has a 17-point lead in this championship. Unorthodox 2nd place, really clawing the points back in the recent weeks. Dennis Newman gains a few more points as well. He's now down to 31 to Fury. Smokey Devil losing out a little bit. He's 39 behind. Kishanyika 58 behind. That's really the top 5 fight for the championship. Because then you drop to Louis Allen, who is 6th ahead of DJ Phil. PNMotorsport down to 8th with Tibbs 9th. Future Revenge up to 10th. Sutty up to 11th. Gary and Bryn down to 12th and 13th. Peaceful 14th ahead of John Andrews. Justin Wasocki moves into 16th place ahead of De Hoffner. Monkey Boy 18th. Doctor Who 19th. Overtaker then Shane as well. We are joined by the top 2 in the commentary box. The 1st and 3rd in the commentary box. Fury, we'll start with you. You must be absolutely kicking yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. I tried to follow Dan. Yeah, he got away with it. I didn't, but I know pushed the limits a bit too hard, but Dan gave me a hell of a race.
Good pace in the BMW, because we've said in recent weeks that the BMW looks like it loses tyre grip towards the end of the 45-minute race. Tonight it didn't seem that way. It seemed like the BMW got stronger.
Well, considering last week I had brake problems, I mean I still have them, but not as bad. But yeah, I actually managed to put a bit of testing in tonight, set up, get the tyre pressures correct, and the tyres just lasted. I did have a little mishap where I went on the grass and I must have got a flat spot.
We did see that. That was quite amusing, I must say. That put a smile on my face.
I know Dan was laughing inside, but he didn't actually laugh. But
it's been a good night, though. It's 2 podiums. Yes, Dan's got the gap down 17 points, but it's damage limitation. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, the BMW done a lot better than I expected it to, because obviously there's only like 2 main straights. Everywhere else is made for like the Camaro, the Ginetta, the Mercedes. But yeah, the BMW served me well.
We go to a pretty much balanced circuit next week in the GT4. Seems to be a bit of an all-round track. And you've walked it many a lap this year. It's Donington Park, so you should know your way around this circuit.
If I don't win at least one of those races, I'm never racing again. With the amount of times we have walked that track, we have raced it on the sim at Donington. If I don't win one, I quit.
You've got a piece. You've got a piece of Dan Camish's headlights. You best not go off at McLean's.
Mate, the amount of stuff that is in my car's glove box and my suitcase still. I've got straps, carbon fiber, brake pads, all of it.
Whatever you found that walk, you picked up and took with you. Joe, congratulations on the podium tonight. We'll see you on Thursday night for GT3, and we'll see you back in the BMW for GT4 next week. Well done. Cheers, mate, and congratulations to Dan as well. And we go to an Orthodox 16 now, who is a 64-time race winner here at SimPlay Motorsport. And Dan, here's a little stat that you'll enjoy. You have now got as many race wins in the Chevrolet as the Aston Martin and the Lexus. I knew that one would make you giggle. 64 times a race winner. You're 7 podiums away from 150. You was disappointed off air race 1 because you felt like you could have gained a bit more over Fury in the championship. Does that one feel a little better? Hard work. You drove, we go to a touring car track next week. You drove a very touring car defensive drive at the end of that. You was Jason Plato in Fury, it looked like, massively on them last couple of laps before his drive-through. Yeah. Yeah. It was no Brands Hatch Porsche Cup where you got punted into the gravel, that's for sure. But it's a race win. The gap's down to 17 points. And it is really a good game on between you two. We said last week, you know, there's tracks coming up that seem to favour this Chevrolet. Next week seems a bit of an all-round kind of circuit. Can the Chevy replicate its podiums and wins in the last 2 races? Mm.
So I think the Camaro should be in an all-round balanced circuit. I think this car should be good. It's not very good in the social corners. It's not very good in the high-speed medium corners. It seems to handle better. So Donington might suit this car a little bit better. But Bathurst, again, it'll be who can stay out the wall.
Yeah.
And a few other circuits. Suzuka is difficult, and then Ginetta will be strongest.
Yeah. And obviously Smokey Devil turning up on the reverse grid races, he's easily capable of taking points off of you with Fury in this championship. Yeah.
I knew it was going to take him some time to get the tyres up to temperature, up to the pressure that he needed them to work. And by that spurt, when he did get to the pressure zone, jumped off in the pits. Another scary moment again, finishing the negative one. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting end to the season. We're not even halfway, and Fury already hopping into this.
Yeah, we are indeed. Now, final question from me. We know your love of British circuits is not great. It's more hate than love. But every time you seem to rock up at a British circuit, you seem to have a good time of it. You always seem to end up with a good result. Is this something you look at? Is this something you focus on? Or is it something that distracts you, knowing that you don't like them but always come out well from them?
I feel like I should be good at them because...
You know them, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't actually like tracks that don't like them. There's nothing excites me. You know, it's boring most of the second day. But they're not really challenging.
Yeah.
Right, both brands is probably the most challenging to me. But it's all about race pace for me. It's about being consistent. It's all well and good going through the fastest laps, but if I can be there consistently by winning all lap times, that's all I aim for. And Chevy is good at being consistent. And if I can keep it being consistent, then Fury's going to have a tough time for the rest of the season because it is where it needs to be.
Well, Dan, congratulations on the race win tonight. 64 times a race winner here at SimPlay Motorsport. Unorthodox 16 is your round 8 winner, with Fury in P3 and Dennis Newman P2. PNMotorsport, final words from yourself today and the driver of the day.
Well, that was some exciting racing. Hopefully we might stream out. I know I will be my end. But yeah, my driver of the day, I'm actually going to give it to Smokey, despite the drive-through.
Fair enough. I'm going to give mine the way of Dan. I think it's been a good race tonight. I think the fact that it's not been your typical dominant performance by running away with it like Ripper and Overtaker and Dan in Pro-Am. Dan's had to work hard for this time, so I'm going to give it Dan. I think it's been a good night. It's been good action. It's been good action. What a shame we didn't have the cameras working properly, because that race one especially would have been fantastic. It would have been fantastic to watch Joe and Dan at the end. Don't forget, though, we do have Am possibly tomorrow night, depending on the number of drivers that make it. Am will possibly be on the stream. If not, we will definitely be back Wednesday. Myself and Benedict Varga will be in the comments box for Pro-Am. Can anybody stop Unorthodox bar Dennis? Can Daz finally get the monkey off his back and take a race win? And then we'll be back for Pro on Thursday night. Can the streak of Ripper continue? And can the form of Mike Matthews continue while I'm back on circuit? That'll be the biggest question. Dan's laugh says no. So you'll have to join Dan and Pierre in the commentary box for that one on Thursday night. We have been SimPlay Motorsport. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified, and the subscribe button as well. And go and check out the guys on their socials. PNMotorsport on Twitch, Fury's live on Twitch, Fury _ CBK, Unorthodox 16 on Twitch and YouTube. Dean Wasocki was streaming to Twitch tonight as well. Watch them drivers' POVs. From all of us here at SimPlay Motorsport, take care. Good night.